Chapter 3107. The scroll that recorded the 3,000 great Taoists was obviously something that the cultivators of the Eternal River Star Zone were determined to obtain. Now, however, Lin Feng had suddenly appeared and claimed that the scroll belonged to him. Naturally, many people found this unbelievable. Could it be that this guy felt that he had lived for too long and wanted to court death? Many people looked at Lin Feng with pity. In their opinion, Lin Feng was simply courting death. The cultivators of the Eternal River Star Zone were not kind people. Besides, Lin Feng was a human cultivator. He had no choice but to die. It's him. The cultivators of the Demon Dragon Star Zone were extremely shocked when they saw Lin Feng. Naturally, they all recognized Lin Feng. Not long ago, they had some interactions with Lin Feng. However, other than Jiangxin, the rest of them were not familiar with Lin Feng. When they saw Lin Feng appear at this moment, many people were extremely shocked. In the eyes of the cultivators of the Demon Dragon Star Zone, Lin Feng was a cultivator who had cultivated for an extremely short period of time. How much cultivation could he have? Now, he actually wanted the scroll that recorded the 3,000 great Taoists. He was simply overestimating himself. "Brother Lin! Hurry up and leave this place," Jiangxin said hurriedly. Jiangxin was a very simple and honest person. Now that he was worried about Lin Feng, he kept winking at Lin Feng. He hoped that Lin Feng would leave quickly. However, Lin Feng did not choose to leave. "Who has the scroll?" Lin Feng asked indifferently. The cultivators of the Demon Dragon Star Zone looked at Sun Tianwei. Obviously, the scroll was in his hands. "Young master, should we kill this kid?" a cultivator of the Eternal River Star Zone asked. Wang Xingheng said faintly, "Let's see what tricks this kid is playing first." "Yes," the cultivator hurriedly replied. "Hand it over." Lin Feng came to Sun Tianwei's side and said indifferently. Seeing Lin Feng's nonchalant attitude, Sun Tianwei couldn't help but be enraged. In Sun Tianwei's opinion, if it weren't for Lan Chaoyang and Nangong Qingwan's persuasion, he wouldn't have done it. At that time, he took care of Lin Feng, who was disrespectful to him. From start to finish, Sun Tianwei had never put Lin Feng in his eyes. Now that he was in such a sorry state, yet Lin Feng was still so calm and collected, it seemed to have deeply provoked Sun Tianwei. His expression couldn't help but darken. Sun Tianwei sneered and said, "Who do you think you are? How dare you demand something from me? You should be thankful that I didn't make a fuss about it with you before. Now you actually dare to be impudent in front of me. You're simply courting death." Lin Feng couldn't help but look glum. He looked coldly at Sun Tianwei. Then, he raised his hand and slapped Sun Tianwei. "Die!" Sun Tianwei's expression was indifferent. "He's actually the rumored Lin Feng." Nangong Qingwan looked at Lin Feng in shock, and her beautiful eyes could not help but flash with a bright light. She had not been in the 9 states for long. However, she had heard too many legends about Lin Feng. Nangong Qingwan had long been fascinated by Lin Feng. She did not expect that the cultivator she met not long ago was actually Lin Feng, whose name shook the 9 states. The purple-clothed woman also looked at Lin Feng in shock. Just like Nangong Qingwan. During this period of time, she had heard too many rumors about Lin Feng, but she had never had the chance to meet him. The purple-clothed woman also wanted to meet Lin Feng, who was like a legend. Now she finally got to see him. Lin Feng ignored everyone's shock. His divine will invaded Sun Tianwei's storage ring and found the scroll. Whoosh! With a flash of light, the scroll flew out. Lin Feng's divine will invaded the scroll. He immediately discovered. Chapter 3108. Great Soul Technique. Great Vajra Technique. Great Snowdrift Technique. Great Assassination Technique. These were the 3,000 great Tao recorded in the scroll. These 3,000 great Tao each had their own merits. For example, the Great Soul Technique could help cultivators cultivate their souls and continuously increase their soul power. The Great Vajra Art, one of the 3,000 great Taos, could help a cultivator temper their physical body and continuously improve it. The great snowdrift technique could condense a scene of thousands of miles of snow. Each snowflake contained endless killing intent. The great snowdrift technique was also a divine ability that had existed since ancient times. The great assassination technique could help cultivators comprehend the Tao of assassination. If he cultivated the great assassination technique, he would be able to kill the great assassination technique. Then the cultivator would become a top-notch assassin. These 4 divine abilities were extremely targeted and could have an astonishing effect at critical moments. A smile appeared on Lin Feng's face. He had obtained another 4 3,000 Great Tao. Including these 4 3,000 Great Tao, he had already obtained 56 types of 3,000 Great Tao. The most important thing was that among the 56 types of 3,000 Great Tao, there were a total of 9 types that were ranked in the top 10. Of course, 56 types of 3,000 Great Tao seemed to be a lot. However, there were 3,000 types of 3,000 Great Tao. Lin Feng still had a long way to go to collect the 3,000 Great Tao. Swoosh! Lin Feng waved his hand and put away the scroll that recorded the 3,000 Great Tao. To be able to obtain 4 types of 3,000 Great Tao, even if he couldn't obtain anything else on this trip to Lulan Island, this trip was already worth it. Lin Feng! Lin Feng! You're that Lin Feng! Wang Xingheng narrowed his eyes and looked at Lin Feng with a cold glint in his eyes. He waved his hand. In an instant, the cultivators around him quickly spread out and surrounded Lin Feng. What? Could it be that you want to attack me? Do you think ant-like characters like you are worthy? Lin Feng flicked his sleeves. Then he sneered. His face was full of disdain. This guy is too arrogant. This Lin Feng thinks that because he has some strength, he is arrogant. Wang Xingheng is a powerful character. Just wait and see, he will cry later. Ever since Wang Xingheng fought with the Emperor Realm experts 300 years ago, he hasn't used his full strength. Who knows how terrifying his strength is now? Moreover, Wang Xingheng has so many experts by his side. Lin Feng actually dares to look down on Wang Xingheng in such a manner. This kid will definitely die. The myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and cultivators from other forces began to discuss among themselves. Lin Feng was indeed very powerful. Moreover, Lin Feng possessed many powerful magic treasures. Even ordinary great emperors might not be Lin Feng's match. However, in the eyes of the myriad races, the extraterrestrial races, and the cultivators from other forces, Wang Xingheng was also extremely powerful. Moreover, Wang Xingheng was surrounded by so many experts. Lin Feng was strong. But if he didn't have those powerful magic treasures to protect him, he was definitely no match for Wang Xingheng. Even if he had those powerful magic treasures to protect him, it would be very difficult to defeat Wang Xingheng. This was because Wang Xingheng was not only powerful, he also possessed powerful treasures. This battle had yet to begin. In the eyes of the myriad races, the extraterrestrial races, and the cultivators from other forces, it was already over. In their eyes, Lin Feng would die miserably today. With Wang Xingheng's character, he might not kill Lin Feng directly. Instead, he would capture Lin Feng first. Then, he would torture Lin Feng ruthlessly. Lin Gongzi is really domineering. Fighting against Lin Gongzi. He is simply courting death. The cultivators of the 9 states were all amazed. In the eyes of the 9 states cultivators, Lin Feng was a legend. Lin Feng's domineering and unparalleled strength was also well known. They had almost unconditional trust in Lin Feng. The group of people from the Demon Dragon Star Zone also looked at Lin Feng and the people from the Eternal River Star Zone. Especially Nangong Qingwan, Ouyang Zixue, and the other beauties. Their eyes were staring at Lin Feng without blinking. They were very curious. Was the rumored Lin Feng really that powerful? Was it just a rumor? Or did he really possess terrifying combat strength? Although they had heard many rumors about Lin Feng, there were too many rumors in this world. However, after careful consideration, they realized that many of the rumors were not true. After all, what you hear may be false, but seeing is believing. Lin Feng, I have long heard that you are arrogant and arrogant. Now that I have seen you, you really live up to your reputation. I am looking forward to the scene of you kneeling in front of me and begging for mercy. Wang Xingheng looked at Lin Feng indifferently. His voice was filled with killing intent. Said Lin Feng indifferently. If you want to be arrogant, you need to be strong. I didn't take the initiative to kill you because your ancestors burned incense for you. You should feel lucky. Now you dare come and offend me. Since you want to die, I'll help you. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Feng walked toward Wang Xingheng step by step. 10,000 swords slaughtering god formation! Wang Xingheng could not help but shout. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. As soon as Wang Xingheng finished speaking, the cultivators surrounding Lin Feng all took out flying swords. The flying swords quickly slashed toward Lin Feng. Suddenly, in the air, the flying swords rapidly vibrated and emitted dense sword lights. Hundreds of millions of sword lights condensed. The dazzling sword lights all slashed toward Lin Feng. The power was extremely terrifying. After seeing those sword lights, many people couldn't help but reveal an aghast expression. The cultivators from the Eternal River Star Field were using a combined attack technique. A large group of people worked together to form a sword formation. Everyone's power combined and evolved into hundreds of millions of sword lights to kill the enemy. Such an attack was truly peerless and terrifying. Lin Feng is dead for sure. That's right. He can't resist such a terrifying attack. Hee hee. At the critical moment, he might spare his life. Wang Xingheng still wants to torture him. The cultivators from the myriad races, extraterritorial races, and other foreign forces all looked at Lin Feng indifferently. The expressions of the cultivators from the 9 states turned solemn. The sword formation displayed by the cultivators from the Eternal River Galaxy was simply too terrifying. However, these 9 states cultivators believed that Lin Feng could definitely defeat the opponent's sword formation. Will Lin Feng be killed? Negong Qingwan and Ouyang Zixue, the 2 beauties, also looked at Lin Feng. Naturally, they hoped that Lin Feng could defeat the opponent. Because, if Lin Feng won, they would be able to live. If Lin Feng lost, they would die. Wang Xingheng would definitely not let anyone from the Demon Dragon Galaxy go. Just as the hundreds of millions of sword lights were about to drown Lin Feng, suddenly, the void around Lin Feng distorted slightly. When the hundreds of millions of sword lights flew 3 meters away from Lin Feng. Chapter 3109. This. Everyone had an incomparably shocked expression. They simply couldn't believe their own eyes. It was really too inconceivable. Billions of sword chi. It was so powerful, but it was so easily fixed in the void. What kind of terrifying technique did Lin Feng use to achieve this? Everyone was guessing, and they were all shocked. Lin Feng continued to step forward. Wherever he passed, the sword chi collapsed. It was as if he had transformed into an immortal god. His body exuded a suffocating power. You! The Eternal River Star Domain cultivators who were surrounding Lin Feng looked at Lin Feng in shock. Their faces were full of disbelief. Lin Feng's battle prowess had already astonished them. It made them feel a great shock. Swoosh! Lin Feng waved his hand. Light flashed. Then, a dazzling sword light swept out, cutting the void and shattering heaven and earth. It was so powerful that it was shocking. The sword light directly slashed towards the group of Eternal River Star Domain cultivators. It was too fast. In an instant, it was in front of the Eternal River Star Domain cultivators. The cultivators quickly took out their Dharma treasures or flying swords to block the sword light that Lin Feng slashed out. Clang, clang, clang! A series of violent collisions sounded. The Dharma treasures were directly sent flying. The power of the sword light that Lin Feng slashed out did not weaken much. Poof! 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 Tearing sounds rang out one after another, accompanied by screams of agony. Cultivators from the Eternal River Galaxy were torn apart one by one. Their corpses fell to the ground. They were dead. After seeing this scene, many people couldn't help but have an expression of disbelief. The combat power that Lin Feng displayed was too terrifying. So many experts were killed by Lin Feng in one move. They didn't even have the power to resist. It was unbelievable. It was like a myth. But this was the truth. It happened in front of their eyes. Among the Eternal River Star Domain cultivators, only Wang Xingheng was left alive. Lin Gongzi is like a saint descending to the mortal world. He's invincible. That's right, he's really too powerful. That Wang Xingheng is definitely no match for Lin Gongzi. The cultivators of 9 regions began to discuss excitedly. Lin Feng's display of such formidable battle prowess made them feel proud and elated. How is that possible? How is that possible? The myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and cultivators from other foreign powers all murmured. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. They couldn't accept what they saw. So many experts from the Eternal River Galaxy had been instantly killed by Lin Feng. This deeply provoked the cultivators of the 3 powers. They had always prided themselves on being high and mighty. But Lin Feng's appearance dealt a heavy blow to the confidence of these cultivators. It's your turn. Lin Feng looked at Wang Xingheng indifferently. Wang Xingheng was incomparably powerful, but so what? Lin Feng was confident that he could defeat this person. How dare you kill so many people from the Eternal River Galaxy? Today, I'll tear you into pieces. Wang Xingheng couldn't help but roar angrily. He leaped out and blasted a palm towards Lin Feng. Meteor fall palm! Wang Xingheng shouted coldly. A powerful divine ability was displayed. He blasted a palm towards Lin Feng. This divine ability was really terrifying. As he struck out with his palm, 10,000 stars appeared behind him. Those stars suddenly began to rotate. Suddenly, a loud rumbling sound was heard. Tens of thousands of stars were continuously boosting Wang Xingheng's strength. Wang Xingheng's battle prowess instantly soared to a shocking level. Feeling the terror of Wang Xingheng's attack, many people couldn't help but be shocked. Wang Xingheng had never displayed his true battle prowess before. Therefore, no one knew how powerful Wang Xingheng was. Now that Wang Xingheng had displayed his true battle prowess, everyone was shocked. This person was indeed worthy of being a top genius of the extraterritorial race. He was really too powerful. That terrifying palm strike made people feel as if the ruler of the starry sky had descended to the world. The morale of the cultivators of the myriad races, extraterritorial races, and other external forces was originally low. But now, they saw how powerful Wang Xingheng was. The morale of these cultivators was greatly boosted. Everyone was looking forward to Wang Xingheng's great power and killing Lin Feng. Bang! In the next moment, Lin Feng and Wang Xingheng collided. Originally, the cultivators of the myriad races, extraterritorial races, and other external forces were looking forward to the scene of Lin Feng being defeated by Wang Xingheng. But they didn't get to see it happen. After Lin Feng and Wang Xingheng collided, the two of them were evenly matched. Lin Feng was quite surprised. Wang Xingheng's battle prowess was really strong. He actually blocked his attack. Some initial stage god emperors might not even be able to block his attack. Therefore, he saw Wang Xingheng block his attack. Lin Feng was very surprised. But then, Lin Feng sneered. His expression was indifferent. He directly executed the demon horde worshipping god picture and attacked Wang Xingheng. The scene of a horde of demons kneeling and worshipping Nuwa appeared behind Lin Feng. After seeing that scene, many people were extremely shocked. This was because they felt a terrifying pressure coming from the painting. It was a pressure that originated from the level of life. Whether it was the horde of demons or Nuwa, they were all the most ancient existences in this world. Their pressure suppressed the world. When future cultivators saw these existences, they would feel even more depressed. Sensing the power of Lin Feng's divine ability, Wang Xingheng said with an indifferent expression, "It's rumored that you have mastered many powerful divine abilities. It seems that the rumors are true. Later, I will search your soul and take all these divine abilities." After Wang Xingheng finished speaking, he also condensed an extremely powerful divine ability. This divine ability was called the God of the Starry Sea. An endless sea of stars appeared. Within the sea of stars, an ancient and terrifying existence walked out step by step. Heaven and earth were born with me. The sea of stars was born with me as its ruler. I control billions of stars. I am the God of the Starry Sea. A deep voice resounded between heaven and earth. A terrifying aura that originated from the absolute beginning era spread between heaven and earth. The God of the Starry Sea became more and more real. It was as if he was about to walk out of that illusory world of stars. At that moment, everyone finally got a clear look at the God of the Starry Sea. The God of the Starry Sea was like a huge sea demon. He held a trident in his hand. This was a powerful existence from the era of titled gods. He ruled over the endless starry world. Now, he had crossed the torrent of time and arrived in this part of the starry sky. Chapter 31:10. This God of the Star Sea was truly powerful. His appearance excited the cultivators of the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign powers. How could a mortal be able to contend against such a terrifying existence? The God of the Star Sea also charged toward Lin Feng. He seemed to want to kill Lin Feng directly. The God of the Star Sea struck out with a palm. That terrifying palm strike seemed capable of shattering the heavens and the earth and obliterating the universe. Its might was so strong that it was shocking. Endless starlight gathered in the void. In that instant, the entire world seemed to have turned into a starry sky world. The God of the Star Sea attacked with endless divine might. He was about to drown Lin Feng. At this moment, Lin Feng summoned the phantom of the demon horde worshipping God painting and quickly flew toward the God of the Star Sea. The phantom of the demon horde worshipping goddess Nuwa exuded endless sacred might. Even after billions of years, goddess Nuwa's sacred splendor would not disappear. Bang! The illusory world manifested by the demon horde worshipping God painting swept toward the God of the Star Sea. The God of the Star Sea was instantly sent flying. After seeing this scene, everyone's face was filled with disbelief. The God of the Star Sea was so powerful and terrifying. The myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign powers all thought that Lin Feng would die without a doubt. Even the cultivators of the 9 states were somewhat worried for Lin Feng. But, when the two divine abilities collided, everyone was shocked to find that Lin Feng's divine ability was actually so powerful. It was so powerful that people couldn't help but be aghast. This person is really powerful. Even in the endless starry sky world, among the countless geniuses of the Milky Way, he can definitely be considered a genius. Nagong Qinwan couldn't help but take a deep breath. Her beautiful eyes overflowed with splendor as she looked at Lin Feng. Nagong Qinwan knew many top geniuses of the starry sky world. But there weren't many who could be compared to Lin Feng. The most important thing was that Lin Feng was too young. To possess such terrifying combat strength at such a young age, it was hard to imagine what kind of achievements he would achieve in the future. Ouyang Zixue looked at Lin Feng with a similarly brilliant gaze. Lin Feng's battle prowess, talent, and so on had shocked Ouyang Zixue. Men liked to look at beautiful women. Women, on the other hand, liked men who were like heroes. As for Lin Feng, young, handsome, dashing, heaven-defying talent, powerful strength, limitless future. It was like a deadly poison, attracting the attention of many women. Ouyang Zixue's gaze was also attracted by Lin Feng because of this. When Wang Xingheng saw Starsea God being sent flying, he began to pour his mana into Starsea God's body. After receiving a large amount of magic power, the aura of the God of the Starry Sea became even stronger than before. Billions of stars! The sovereign of all worlds! Shattering heaven and earth! Only I am undying! The God of the Starry Sea suddenly let out a series of cries. Then he stepped toward the illusory world condensed by the demon horde worshipping God painting. The God of the Starry Sea's hands kept changing. Suddenly, billions of stars were condensed. Every astral sea world had the power to destroy the world. They could easily destroy heaven and earth. The starry sea worlds came crashing down with boundless power. Under the support of Wang Xingheng, the battle prowess displayed by the god of the starry sea was many times stronger than before. However, Lin Feng also continued to increase the power of the demon horde worshipping god painting. The demon horde worshipping god painting continued to expand. In the illusory world condensed by the demon horde worshipping god painting, the scene of the demons kneeling and submitting to Nuwa in the past reappeared. When the illusory world condensed by the demon horde worshipping god painting collided with the billions of stars, the billions of stars were all shattered. The demon horde worshipping god painting, it turned into eternal light, immortal. Accompanied by waves of terrifying fluctuations, the aura emitted by the demon horde worshipping god painting became stronger and more terrifying. The illusory world condensed by the demon horde worshipping god painting descended from the sky, enveloping the god of the starry sea, and then rushed toward the god of the starry sea. The god of the starry sea swung his right fist at the illusory world descending from the sky. Bang, 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 3 consecutive punches. It shook heaven and earth. But it couldn't break the illusory world condensed by the demon horde worshipping god painting. In the end, the body of the god of the starry sea directly collapsed and disappeared. The illusory world condensed by the demon horde worshipping god painting then swept toward Wang Xingheng. Wang Xingheng's expression changed greatly. He didn't expect that the god of the starry sea he summoned would be defeated by Lin Feng. Wang Xingheng immediately knew that with his battle prowess, he was no match for Lin Feng. So when he saw the illusory world condensed by the demon horde worshipping god painting bombarding him, Wang Xingheng didn't have the intention to fight it at all. Wang Xingheng quickly rushed into the distance, wanting to escape. The illusory world condensed by the demon horde worshipping god painting bombarded the air, and then dissipated in the void due to the exhaustion of energy. Lin Gongzi is really too powerful. What outer realm heaven's pride, compared to Lin Gongzi, he's far inferior. That's right, they're not on the same level at all. Comparing him with Lin Gongzi is simply an insult to Lin Gongzi. Seeing that Wang Xingheng didn't dare to continue fighting with Lin Feng, but chose to escape, the surrounding cultivators began to discuss animatedly. They were full of admiration for Lin Feng. The cultivators of the myriad races, the outer realm races, and other foreign forces all had gloomy expressions, because things were completely out of their expectations. They didn't expect Lin Feng to be so tyrannical. You can't escape. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. Swish! A light flashed. As if teleporting in an instant, Lin Feng disappeared from his original spot. When he appeared in the next moment, Lin Feng had already arrived at the entrance of the palace, blocking Wang Xingheng's escape route. Then, Lin Feng executed the Ancestor Dragon Fist, this sacred art, and charged towards Wang Xingheng. Roar! A loud dragon's roar resounded through heaven and earth. Behind Lin Feng, a phantom of the Ancestor Dragon appeared. The phantom of the Ancestor Dragon roared towards the sky, causing the air to tremble violently. Facing Lin Feng's invincible punch, Wang Xingheng's expression changed drastically, and hurriedly blocked Lin Feng's punch. Bam! The two sides collided. Wang Xingheng felt as if he had been struck by lightning, and was sent flying by Lin Feng's terrifying punch. His face was as pale as paper, and his internal organs were injured. Lin Feng quickly rushed over and executed the Black Tortoise Hunchback Monument diagram. He directly charged towards Wang Xingheng. Wang Xingheng didn't have time to dodge and was sent flying by the Black Tortoise Hunchback Monument diagram. Chapter 31:11. Wang Xingheng, is this your battle prowess? It's really disappointing. It's much worse than I imagined. Lin Feng looked at Wang Xingheng indifferently. The winner takes all. I've fallen into your hands. If you want to kill me, do whatever you want, Wang Xingheng said indifferently. His attitude surprised Lin Feng. Originally, Lin Feng thought that Wang Xingheng would beg for mercy or threaten him to let him go. But Wang Xingheng didn't do that. This Wang Xingheng made Lin Feng have a higher opinion of him. All right, based on your words, I respect you as a person with backbone. I, Lin Feng, hate to kill cultivators with backbone like you the most, so I won't kill you today. I'll let you live. Lin Feng looked at Wang Xingheng indifferently. What tricks are you trying to play? Wang Xingheng looked at Lin Feng with a gloomy expression. Hee hee, hand over 10 types of 3,000 great Tao. Then I'll let you go. Lin Feng looked at Wang Xingheng and said, Don't even think about it. Wang Xingheng immediately looked at Lin Feng fiercely. His eyes couldn't help but flash with a cold glint. Large forces like them valued the inheritance of their orthodoxies very much. Generally, they absolutely wouldn't allow their orthodoxies to be leaked. This was because it was very likely to destroy the foundation of a top force. Wang Xingheng was a person with backbone. If it weren't for the fact that they were enemies, Lin Feng might be very willing to make friends with such a backbone. Originally, Lin Feng could try to search Wang Xingheng's soul. However, he thought that these top forces would often set up soul restrictions in the minds of their disciples. Therefore, after thinking of this, Lin Feng gave up this idea. If Wang Xingheng's soul was also set up with a soul restriction, not only would he not be able to find anything. At that time, Wang Xingheng might even die. Wang Xingheng's talent was so powerful. His status in his family must be extremely extraordinary. In Lin Feng's opinion, Wang Xingheng was equivalent to a powerful 3,000 great Tao. The 3,000 great Tao was the foundation of Tao validation. It was too useful for cultivators. Lin Feng realized that he was about to cultivate to the Great Emperor realm, but until now, he had only cultivated 56 types of 3,000 great Tao. It was too little. Lin Feng wanted to obtain more 3,000 great Tao, but a divine ability like the 3,000 great Tao. It wasn't something that one could obtain. This required luck and opportunity. Lin Feng had been practicing cultivation for so many years. He had obtained so many things, but he had only obtained 56 different kinds of great Tao, and that was all. From this, one could see how difficult it was to obtain the 3,000 great Taos. Lin Feng felt that he had to find another way. He thought of a way, and that was to extort and blackmail the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, or other external forces. Capture the top geniuses of their races and extort them to take out 3,000 great Tao in exchange for the top geniuses of their races. Lin Feng looked at Wang Xingheng with a smile yet not a smile. Brother Wang, since you don't want to cooperate with me, I have no choice but to cooperate with your clan. If your clan wants you to live, you'll have to give me more than just 10 types of the 3,000 great Tao spells. After hearing Lin Feng's words, many people knew what Lin Feng was up to. The cultivators of the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces all looked at Lin Feng as if they were looking at a lunatic. This guy actually kidnapped Wang Xingheng and asked for a ransom from the force behind Wang Xingheng. He was simply courting death. This move was simply too crazy. I'd rather die than let my family take out the inheritance of their Tao teachings to redeem my life. Wang Xingheng raised his right hand and slapped the top of his head. He actually wanted to end his life. Lin Feng flicked his finger. Suddenly, Wang Xingheng's body was completely imprisoned. He couldn't move at all. Lin Feng said indifferently, It's better to live than to die. Don't be in a hurry to die. Even if you want to die, you have to think about my feelings. I can't let dozens of 3,000 great Tao leave me just like that. Wang Xingheng looked at Lin Feng as if he was looking at a demon. Lin Feng put Wang Xingheng into the 4 ferocious cauldrons and suppressed him. I believe someone must be able to contact the force that Wang Xingheng is in, right? Send the news back and bring 30 types of 3,000 great Tao in exchange for Wang Xingheng's life. Lin Feng looked at the cultivators of the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces around him. The 3 forces felt extremely aggrieved, but they were both hateful and afraid of Lin Feng. Now, they naturally did not dare to refute Lin Feng's words. All right. We will send the news back, a cultivator said. Lin Feng was satisfied with the answer, so he turned around and left. Lin Gongzi, wait! At this moment, Nangong Qingwan said. Lin Feng turned his head and looked at Nangong Qingwan. She was like a fairy that walked out of a painting. Lin Feng had noticed Nan Gong Qingwan before. She was really too enchanting. Any man who saw such a woman would involuntarily take a few more glances at her. Lin Feng was naturally no exception. Fairy Nan Gong, is there something wrong? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. Thank you for saving me, young master. Nan Gong Qingwan came to Lin Feng's side and bowed to Lin Feng. A tempting fragrance came from her body. It was unknown whether it was the fragrance of her body or the fragrance of the spices that she applied. That fragrance was really too pleasant to smell. Ouyang Zixue also came to Lin Feng's side, bringing with her a fragrant wind. She also bowed to Lin Feng and thanked him. Thank you, Lin Gongzi, for saving me. I will never forget this kindness. Thank you, Lin Gongzi, for saving me. The other cultivators of the Devil Dragon Starfield bowed to Lin Feng and thanked him. Only Sun Tianwei was injured by Lin Feng and even had one of his fingers severed by Lin Feng. Therefore, his expression was extremely gloomy, and he did not pay attention to Lin Feng. Lin Feng was also too lazy to pay attention to him. He held Nan Gong Qingwan and Ouyang Zixue with both hands and quickly said, Fairies, please don't be so polite. Nan Gong Qingwan and Ouyang Zixue stood up. When they separated their hands from Lin Feng's, Lin Feng noticed that Ouyang Zixue's lily-white hand had actually lightly brushed against his palm. When Lin Feng looked at Ouyang Zixue's expression remained the same. Ouyang Zixue's expression was normal, and there was nothing strange about it. Everything that she had just done, it was as if she hadn't done it. Lin Feng's heart couldn't help but tremble slightly. Although Ouyang Zixue's actions were very subtle, they were extremely bold. What was her goal? Could it be that she wanted to seduce him? Chapter 31:12. Lin Feng didn't know much about Ouyang Zixue. Although he had met Ouyang Zixue before, he hadn't had much interaction with her when he was tricked. Ouyang Zixue's temperament was noble, just like the noble ladies in the stories. She was so charming, but now she had done such a thing in private. Anyone would think too much about it. Lin Feng couldn't help but let his imagination run wild. If he could do something wonderful and unforgettable with a peerless beauty like Ouyang Zixue, it would be quite nice. Lin Feng had such a personality. He didn't reject any peerless beauty. He naturally wanted to touch a peerless beauty like Ouyang Zixue. Everyone, there's no need to be so polite. Lin Feng looked at the Devil Dragon Star Region's cultivators who were saluting him. Only then did the others stand up. Lin Feng also knew that it wasn't the right time to talk about love and romance. There were countless fortuitous opportunities on Lulan Island. He should search for more on Lulan Island before it disappeared. As for romance, he could leave it for later. There was still a long way to go. There would be plenty of time in the future. He wasn't in a hurry. I still have some matters to attend to. I'll bid farewell to everyone here. Lin Feng cupped his fists and turned to leave. Seeing Lin Feng leave, Ouyang Zixue sighed. Ouyang Zixue looked a little sad. Nan Gong Qingwan also felt a little disappointed. After Lin Feng left, he continued to search for treasures in the underground palace. However, he didn't find any other fortuitous opportunities. Many people found fortuitous opportunities in the underground palace. Those cultivators' luck was quite good. Lin Feng didn't envy those cultivators who found fortuitous opportunities. Everyone had their own luck. Therefore, there was no need to envy others. Boom! Just as Lin Feng was about to leave the underground palace, a terrifying aura suddenly surged out from the depths of the underground palace. The terrifying aura that was suddenly emitted shocked everyone. What's going on? There's a change in the depths of the underground palace. Let's go and take a look. Many people couldn't help but talk. Then, they quickly rushed into the depths of the underground palace. Lin Feng also entered the depths of the underground palace. When Lin Feng arrived, he discovered that the depths of the underground palace had completely collapsed, and there was an underground world of lava below. Within the lava world, the lava was boiling. Lin Feng was shocked when he saw the situation in the underground lava world. This was because he saw a huge stone ball in the magma. The diameter of the stone ball was more than 10 meters long. 4 thick chains pierced through the stone ball and were tied to the 4 mountains of the underground lava world. Why is there such a stone orb locked in the lava world? Many people were puzzled. Let's go down and take a look, another cultivator said. He quickly put his plan into action and entered the underground world to investigate. Soon, they arrived at the lava world. The cultivators who entered the lava world were also very careful because the sudden appearance of the lava world was very strange. Lin Feng stood above and did not enter the lava world. He had an uneasy feeling. He felt that the lava world was very strange and that there might be other hidden dangers. This feeling was very strong, so Lin Feng suppressed the curiosity in his heart and did not take the risk to enter the lava world. The cultivators came to the top of the stone orb. Someone said, "How about we break this stone orb?" This suggestion was quickly approved by the others. Then, the group of cultivators joined forces and tried to break the stone orb. Could there be some supreme treasure sealed inside the stone orb? Or could it be a sacred spirit that is in the process of being born? Some cultivators who were watching the show said. Lin Feng also felt that this was very possible. The truly extraordinary thing was the stone orb. If they could break the stone orb, the secret hidden inside the stone orb would be revealed. The cultivators joined forces and attacked. All kinds of powerful attacks blasted toward the stone orb. The attacks all landed on the stone orb. However, the attacks did not cause any damage to the stone orb. Seeing this scene, everyone was shocked. Everyone was extremely shocked. Wasn't this stone ball a little too hard? Use Dharma treasures to attack the stone orb, a cultivator said, planning to use Dharma treasures to attack the stone orb. At this moment, waves of violent fluctuations were emitted from the stone orb. Then, a terrifying aura spread out. That terrifying aura immediately enveloped everyone. Bang, bang, bang. Next, the sound of bodies exploding could be heard. The cultivators could not withstand the terrifying aura emitted from the stone orb. After the cultivators' bodies exploded, only the purest source energy was left. Then, the stone orb emitted a terrifying devouring power, devouring everyone's source energy. Not good, there's danger. Seeing this scene, Lin Feng's heart suddenly jumped. He had felt that the stone orb was extremely strange before, so he did not go down to check it. Now, it seemed that his guess was confirmed. The stone orb was indeed very strange. Lin Feng did not hesitate and turned to fly into the distance. Huff, 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 huff. At this moment, an endless evil aura spread out from the stone orb. The evil aura blotted out the sky and the sun. It was too fast. The evil aura swept towards the cultivators outside. Many people could not help but turn pale with fright when they saw this scene. They wanted to escape the area as soon as possible. However, it was too late. The evil aura swept across heaven and earth. Bang, 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 one by one, the bodies of the cultivators exploded, transforming into the purest essence power. The source energy was all devoured by the stone orb. In the end, only a small number of people escaped. How many years have I been trapped? I've finally recovered. The power of the seal has reached its lowest point. I'm finally going to break free. At this moment, a hoarse, deep, and terrifying voice came from the stone orb. The voice was like the voice of a peerless evil demon that had been trapped for hundreds of millions of years. After hearing the voice, Lin Feng could not help but be shocked. Who was the owner of the voice? Why was he trapped here? Who was the one who trapped the owner of the voice? Crash! Crash! The stone orb shook violently. The 4 chains that pierced through the stone orb made violent clanging sounds. The clanging sounds. Clanging sounds. The stone orb wanted to break the 4 chains and break free. However, at this moment, dense runes appeared on the 4 chains. The runes surged with a terrifying power, and all the power surged into the stone orb. A scream came from the stone orb. The mysterious being inside the stone orb seemed to have suffered great damage. Chapter 31:13. No one can restrain me? No one can continue to imprison me. I want to break free. After the blood-curdling screams died down, waves of angry roars came from within the stone orb. Clatter! Clatter! The stone ball shook more and more violently. It kept struggling, trying to break free from the chains. However, the 4 chains were very scary and strange. The runes on them contained unimaginable power. The stone ball couldn't break free from the chains. The chains would cause serious damage to the living being inside the stone ball. Even so, the living being inside the stone ball didn't give up. It kept struggling. More and more violently. Finally, Kacha! Kacha! The runes on the chains began to crack. The chains were made of black devil mystic gold copper. It was an extremely rare material. After being made into chains, the runes were strengthened. The power of the chains would increase tremendously. If the runes broke, the chains would likely break as well. Ha ha! No one can trap me! No one can trap me! The being inside the stone ball continued to roar. He should have noticed that the runes on the chains had begun to crack. That was why he was so excited at this moment. Break! 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 As the being roared, the stone ball shook more and more violently. The stone ball wanted to break the chains. But obviously, it wouldn't be easy. Even though the runes had begun to crack, the chains were still very scary. After leaving the Rift Valley, Lin Feng stood in the distance and looked in the direction of the Rift Valley. From time to time, loud roars could be heard coming from within the Great Rift Valley. These were the sounds coming from within the stone sphere. What era was that being from? It was very strange to be trapped inside the stone ball. Something unknown must have happened in the past. Would that being be able to come out? Break! 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 The being inside the stone ball kept roaring. It kept on struggling. No matter how many times it struggled, it couldn't break free. The chains shook along with the stone ball, and the runes broke faster and faster. Perhaps it wouldn't be long before the runes broke completely. When the runes broke completely, at that time, the stone orb would be born. Suddenly, divine light surged out from the runes, and the endless divine light seemed to cover the sky. A mysterious creature appeared in the divine light. That living being. It was hazy and indistinct, making it impossible to see its appearance clearly. It was also unknown what kind of existence it was. The only thing he knew was that the creature was definitely a terrifying existence. Terrifying waves of energy rippled out from his body. That fluctuation. People couldn't help but be shocked. The being shrouded in endless divine light reached out with his right hand. The right hand began to move in the void. Then, a series of distorted runes appeared. The densely packed runes sealed the entire stone ball. Damn it! You actually had such a plan. But don't even think about scheming against me. The creature inside the stone ball couldn't help but roar in anger. The stone ball shook even more violently. Suddenly, a drop of blood flew out from the stone ball. The drop of blood flew towards the mysterious existence within the divine light. Puff! The drop of blood directly pierced through the mysterious existence within the divine light. You actually condensed immortal blood. The existence within the divine light couldn't help but let out a low roar. He seemed to be extremely unwilling to accept this. However, no matter how unwilling he was, there was no way to reverse the situation now. My life will complete its transformation. No one can suppress me. The people who suppressed me back then, when I am born, I will kill them all. The mysterious existence within the stone ball said eerily. His voice contained monstrous killing intent. This was definitely an extremely terrifying existence, and it was very likely that he wasn't a good person. The existence within the divine light vanished into thin air. The stone ball shook violently again. Crack! 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 4 consecutive cracking sounds were heard, and the runes on the 4 chains completely shattered. The 4 chains were completely broken. The stone orb, on the other hand, managed to break free. I'm free. I'm finally free. An extremely excited voice came from within the stone orb. Then, the stone orb quickly flew out. Let's go. Lin Feng didn't dare to stay, and quickly flew into the distance. Soon, the stone orb rushed out. An endless evil aura surged. It was a dusky energy, and it emitted the power to distort time and space. It was extremely terrifying. The grayish, evil energy quickly spread out in all directions. Hurry up and run. The scattered cultivators couldn't help but shout in fear, and didn't dare to stay any longer. However, many of them didn't manage to escape. The evil energy surging out of the stone orb was extremely terrifying. Any cultivator who was caught in the evil energy felt as if all the energy in their body had been sucked out. They couldn't struggle anymore. Then, the cultivators' bodies directly exploded. Bodies after bodies. They exploded into a bloody mist. A large number of cultivators died tragically. The blood, flesh, and soul essence of those cultivators were all devoured by the mysterious stone orb. Lin Feng stood in the distance, watching this scene. He couldn't help but take a deep breath. That stone orb was really too terrifying, and it killed without batting an eyelid. No less than 400 to 500 cultivators had died under the stone orb's attack. 300 to 400 cultivators had died in the underground palace. The stone orb had just been born. It had already caused such a large number of casualties. When the stone orb left Luan Island and reached the 9 states, who knew what kind of terrifying massacre it would cause? But this stone orb was too terrifying. It wasn't something Lin Feng could destroy. I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. I want to eat. I want to eat to my heart's content. The stone orb had devoured the blood, flesh, and soul essence of so many cultivators, but it was still hungry. The stone orb quickly flew into the distance, looking for cultivators it could devour. Lin Feng continued to fly into the depths of the island, looking for new opportunities. There were many opportunities on Luan Island, but Lin Feng wanted to find the location of the ancient city of Luan the most. If he could find out where the ancient city was, then he would be able to obtain countless treasures. Moreover, it was a place like the ancient city of Luan. There might even be many of the 3,000 great Daos. Thinking of the 3,000 great Dao, Lin Feng couldn't help but feel his heart beat faster. If he could cultivate hundreds of 3,000 great Dao before becoming an emperor, it would be too terrifying. As for cultivating 3,000 great Dao like the Red World Fairy, Lin Feng didn't dare to have extravagant hopes for the time being. Lin Feng's goal was to cultivate at least 300 types of 3,000 great Dao. If he cultivated less than 300 types of 3,000 great Dao, Lin Feng felt that his great Dao foundation would not be strong enough when he became an emperor. If his great Dao foundation was not strong enough. Chapter 31:14. However, Lin Feng had only mastered 56 types of 3,000 great Dao. There was still a huge gap from his goal of 300 types of 3,000 great Dao. Therefore, Lin Feng thought of extorting cultivators from the myriad races, the alien races, and other foreign forces. Apart from extorting those cultivators, he was looking for all kinds of opportunities. There was a high possibility that there were a large number of 3,000 great Dao in the ancient city of Lulan. However, the prerequisite was that Lin Feng could find the ancient city of Lulan. If he couldn't find the ancient city of Lulan, everything would be just wishful thinking. Every day, cultivators would obtain opportunities on Lulan Island. Lin Feng even saw a few cultivators obtain a few immortal herbs. However, in the next few days, the birth of the stone ball caused quite a bit of chaos. This was because the stone ball was constantly devouring the cultivators who entered Lulan Island. Many cultivators died tragically. Many emperor-level experts were furious. This was because the descendants of those emperor-level experts were also devoured by the stone ball. The casualties were extremely heavy. Those emperor-level experts wanted to take revenge for their descendants. Therefore, they all attacked, wanting to destroy the stone ball. Many emperors joined forces to attack the stone ball. The stone ball was originally full of confidence, and threatened to devour these emperors to recover its strength. However, the stone ball overestimated itself. After being sealed for so many years, the stone ball's combat strength was no longer the same as before. In addition, there were more than 20 emperors who joined forces. From this, one could see. What kind of terrifying power was this? With so many emperors joining forces, their combat strength was monstrous. In the end, the stone ball was injured. To be precise, perhaps the living being inside the stone ball was injured. Of course, the living being inside the stone ball could also be the soul born from the stone ball, and the stone ball was the body of this living being. Everything was hard to say. Therefore, no one had seen what the living being inside the stone ball looked like. Although those emperors had injured the stone ball's vitality was greatly damaged. However, when those emperors wanted to join forces to completely destroy the stone ball used a secret technique to escape. A group of emperors searched everywhere for the stone ball's whereabouts, but they couldn't find it. The moonlight was bright. In the forest, the roars of beasts shook the sky. Lin Feng started a bonfire. Above the bonfire was barbecued meat that had been roasted to a golden color. The roasted meat emitted an enticing aroma. Lin Feng took down the barbecued meat. They enjoyed the delicious barbecued meat while drinking wine. What a great pleasure! Rumble! A loud sound was heard. Lin Feng gazed into the distance, and saw a gigantic stone ball flying towards him at high speed. That stone ball was very high profile. Wherever it passed, an earth-shaking sound could be heard. Many ferocious beasts were frightened and fled in all directions. However, they were all killed by the stone orb. The bodies of the ferocious beasts exploded into flesh and blood. In the end, his flesh, blood, and soul were all devoured by the stone ball. F***ck. After seeing the stone orb, Lin Feng couldn't help but be shocked. To think that he would encounter a stone orb here. How unlucky. Without thinking, Lin Feng turned around and ran. But at this moment, a terrifying power spread out and enveloped Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng found that he had been imprisoned. The stone orb descended from the sky and said in a sinister voice, "Kid, you ran away when you saw me. Am I that scary?" Lin Feng smiled embarrassedly and said, "Senior is wise and powerful. How can I be scary? This junior wasn't running away. It was because I suddenly remembered that there was something I had to do. That's why I left in a hurry." The stone orb pursed its lips and said, "Trying to deceive me with words that would deceive a 3-year-old child? You're daydreaming. I have an impression of you. I've seen you twice before, but you're very good at running. You managed to escape both times." Lin Feng was very shocked. The stone orb was too terrifying. He was so far away from it, and there were so many people around, but the stone orb still remembered him. From this, it could be seen how terrifying the stone orb's perception was. This perception deeply shocked Lin Feng, making him feel incredulous. He was also very moved. Lin Feng hurriedly said, "Senior, congratulations on escaping. This is really something worth celebrating. No need to be so fake. No matter what you say, I won't let you go. Now I'm going to devour you," said the stone orb. Then, a terrifying power surged towards Lin Feng, wanting to kill Lin Feng. But at this moment, Lin Feng used his haki to dissolve the stone orb's imprisonment. Then, Lin Feng quickly dodged the stone orb's attack. Lin Feng took out the stone sword and slashed at the stone orb. Clang! The stone sword's terrifying attack slashed onto the stone ball, immediately leaving a deep dent on the stone ball. However, it couldn't destroy the stone orb. The stone orb was too hard. "Stone sword! You actually have the legendary stone sword. Rumor has it that the 36 stone swords can kill any cultivator of any level. Anyone who obtains the stone sword is a person with great luck. I would like to see who exactly you are." A sinister voice came from within the stone orb. A cold aura spread out from the stone orb, enveloping Lin Feng's body. Following that, Lin Feng's immortal god blood and sovereign emperor blood began to circulate uncontrollably. Immortal god blood! Sovereign emperor blood! powerful, he was actually a descendant of these two families. This is truly shocking. A surprised voice came from the stone orb. Since you know who I am, you should leave as soon as possible, said Lin Feng. What is there for me to be afraid of? The undead divine race lives in that mysterious place, and their clansmen usually don't appear, but you are wandering outside. This means that your bloodline was abandoned by the undead divine race, and if I kill you, not only will the undead divine race not be angry, they will also thank me. As for the sovereign emperor race, in the past, they were indeed incomparably powerful, but that was already in the past. Who still remembers the sovereign emperor race now? It's just a race that has long been forgotten by history. The voice from the stone orb was extremely cold, and emitted a dense killing intent. Next, a terrifying gray energy surged out from the stone orb and engulfed Lin Feng. After seeing the grayish energy, Yi Zichen was shocked. Lin Feng's facial expression suddenly changed. That gray and misty energy was terrifying. Once it enveloped Lin Feng's body, he would die. If he was careless, there was a possibility of dying. When that dusky energy enveloped Lin Feng did not plan to continue fighting with this terrifying existence. He wanted to quickly escape from this place. However, the surrounding space had already been sealed, and he was unable to leave this place. Lin Feng's expression became increasingly ugly. Lin Feng knew that he had encountered a huge problem. At this dangerous moment, suddenly. Chapter 31:15. The demonic orb was filled with mysteries. It was definitely an unimaginably powerful supreme treasure. Lin Feng's rise to power had played an important role in obtaining the demonic orb. The demonic orb had witnessed Lin Feng's rise step by step. It had witnessed Lin Feng's growth from a weak cultivator to an expert who could contend against a great emperor. The demonic orb was too mysterious. Even the current Lin Feng was unable to completely uncover its secrets. Lin Feng was astonished. He had obtained the demon pearl for such a long time, but now it was shaking violently. Lin Feng was astonished. Lin Feng had rarely seen the demonic orb emitting such fluctuations of its own accord. Swish! The next moment, the demonic orb flew out. The demonic orb was now extremely terrifying. The fluctuations it emitted were also extremely shocking. The void around the demonic orb distorted. At this moment, the demonic orb seemed to be awakening the boundless demonic power within it. The stone orb had originally intended to kill Lin Feng. However, after seeing the demonic orb, the stone orb stopped. How is this possible? The stone orb cried out in disbelief. It seemed to have recognized the origin of the demonic orb. Lin Feng was shocked. The stone orb actually recognized the demonic orb. However, he did not know the origin of the demonic orb. Originally, Lin Feng had thought that the demonic orb was a supreme treasure passed down by Sovereign Dracophant. Only later did he find out that it was not the case. In the past, Sovereign Dracophant had only obtained the demonic orb by chance. Even after obtaining the demonic orb for such a long time, Lin Feng still did not know the origin of the demonic orb. However, it seemed that there were still some people in this world who knew the true origin of the demonic orb. You recognize the demonic orb? Lin Feng asked the stone orb. Do you think an ant like you has the right to ask me that? The stone orb said disdainfully. It immediately sent out a terrifying power towards Lin Feng. It wanted to kill Lin Feng. At this moment, the demonic orb also sent out boundless demonic energy to block the stone orb's attack. Lin Feng quickly retreated, putting some distance between him and the stone orb. That bastard Shurchio actually dared to look down on him. Lin Feng wished he could smash the stone ball into smithereens. Of course, Lin Feng also knew that the stone orb was too terrifying. Currently, he was unable to cause any damage to the stone orb. Perhaps the demonic orb could cause damage to the stone orb. If even the demonic orb could not deal with the stone ball, then he would immediately crush the void teleportation talisman and teleport out of this place. When the time comes, he could also get rid of the stone orb, but the demonic bead might be snatched away by the stone orb. Lin Feng naturally did not wish to see this happen. Therefore, he was still waiting for the final result of the collision between the demonic orb and the stone orb. Bang bang bang, the demonic bead and the stone ball collided again and again. Every time they collided, the void shook violently. Its power was terrifying to the extreme. The demonic orb collided with the stone orb over 100 times. Suddenly, cracking sounds could be heard. Dense cracks appeared on the surface of the stone ball. Lin Feng's face lit up. Was the stone orb going to be destroyed by the demonic orb? The demonic orb shone brightly. It shone with an even more terrifying power, shaking the void violently. Its power was extraordinary. At this moment, the power of the demonic orb increased tremendously. Lin Feng even felt that there was an ancient giant demon within the demonic orb that had awakened. That giant demon looked up to the sky and let out a long roar that could collapse 100,000 void worlds. Once again, the demonic orb collided with the stone orb. The stone orb also collided with the demonic orb. Bang! Accompanied by a terrifying surge of energy, the stone orb and the demonic orb collided once again. Kacha 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 sounds could be heard. The collision between the stone orb and the demonic orb was far more powerful than any previous collision. This time, the stone orb finally could not withstand the terrifying impact of the demonic orb. The cracks on the stone orb became more severe. The cracks were extremely severe. The demonic orb once again shot out a ray of demonic light, sweeping across the stone orb. The stone orb was completely shattered. The stone orb has been destroyed. Seeing this scene, Lin Feng could not help but reveal a surprised look on his face. The demonic orb was truly peerless and terrifying. Even a supreme treasure like the stone orb was destroyed by the demonic orb. Was there anything else that the demonic orb could not destroy? The demonic orb must be hiding a shocking secret. Lin Feng could not determine how powerful the demonic orb was. Roar! However, at this moment, the sound of a dragon's roar could be heard from the cracked stone orb. Next, endless divine light surged out from the stone orb. The divine light covered the sky. A terrifying creature appeared in the endless divine light. That creature was actually a huge dragon. It was a golden dragon with a slender body. Its scales shone with a cold luster. This huge dragon had a head like a cow, horns like a deer, eyes like a shrimp, ears like an elephant, neck like a snake, belly like a snake, scales like a fish, claws like a phoenix, and palms like a tiger. There were 81 purple scales on its back. There was a beard beside its mouth, a pearl under its chin, and a reverse scale under its throat. This huge dragon. It could form clouds with its breath. It could form water and fire. This huge dragon was actually an Eastern divine dragon. This was an extremely rare race. The Eastern divine dragon race had the third lowest population among all the dragon races, including the Eastern and Western dragon races. In history, only the ancestral dragons, a total of 3 appeared, and the true dragons, a total of 9 appeared, had fewer populations than the Eastern divine dragons. Any of the other dragon tribes would outnumber the Eastern divine dragons by a lot. It was very rare to see the Eastern divine dragons now. Not to mention the pure-blooded Eastern divine dragons, even those with impure bloodlines were as rare as phoenix feathers and unicorn horns. Ha ha! I'm free! Master Long Outyen is finally free! This Eastern divine dragon could not help but laugh excitedly. His body was extremely huge. As he spiraled, he was about 3,000 meters long. He looked like a mountain ridge that rose and fell continuously. His huge body spiraled in midair, giving people a sense of visual awe. Anyone who faced such a terrifying creature would probably tremble in fear. This is bad. This huge dragon must have been sealed in the stone orb. Just now, this guy used the power of the demonic orb to break the seal. This is bad. Seeing the Eastern divine dragon being born, Lin Feng immediately thought of the cause and effect. His expression became extremely serious. Now that the Eastern divine dragon had broken the seal, there were no more restrictions. The demonic orb would not be able to deal with this Eastern Divine Dragon, right? Ha ha! I'm born. From now on, this demonic orb is my treasure. Chapter 31:16. Lin Feng had always lacked sufficient understanding of the Eastern Divine Dragon tribe. However, that did not mean that Lin Feng did not understand the Eastern Divine Dragon tribe at all. Lin Feng had heard many things about the Eastern Divine Dragon tribe. For example, there were rumors that the Eastern Divine Dragon tribe was a tribe that loved to collect all kinds of treasures. In fact, this was very similar to the other dragon tribes. Many of the dragon tribes loved to collect all kinds of treasures. If one could find the dragon cave, it was equivalent to finding a huge treasure trove. The Eastern Divine Dragon before him was determined to get Lin Feng's demonic orb. His eyes were filled with greed as he looked at the demonic orb. He could not wait to get his hands on the demonic orb. The huge claws had the power to grab the heavens and earth. The dragon claws enveloped the demonic orb and grabbed it. After seeing this, Lin Feng almost crushed the void teleportation talisman and escaped. However, he felt that the demonic orb would not be so easily subdued by the Eastern Divine Dragon before him. Therefore, Lin Feng forcibly suppressed the impulse in his heart. He planned to stay and observe for a while to see what would happen next. Ha 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 ha, I caught it! After grabbing the demonic orb, the Eastern Divine Dragon was extremely excited and could not help but laugh. Powerful divine power continuously surged out from the Eastern Divine Dragon's body. The Eastern Divine Dragon wanted to refine the demonic orb directly. However, at this moment, the demonic orb emitted an extremely terrifying power. The terrifying power swept across the Eastern Divine Dragon's body and sent him flying. The demonic orb also broke free from the Eastern Divine Dragon's huge claws. Humph! No matter how you struggle, you can't escape from my hands. You're destined to become my treasure. The Eastern Divine Dragon snorted when he saw the demonic orb break free from his suppression. The huge and winding dragon body continued to pounce on the Eastern Divine Dragon. At this moment, divine light surged out from the Eastern Divine Dragon's body. At that moment, the Eastern Divine Dragon seemed to have completed his transformation. His combat strength was increasing crazily. Seeing this, Lin Feng was extremely shocked. The Eastern Divine Dragon's methods were extraordinary. Wasn't this guy injured when he was besieged by the great emperors? How could he still be so powerful? Furthermore, he had been suppressed for so many years. Over the long years, the combat power of the Eastern Divine Dragon was no longer comparable to its peak. But even so, the Eastern Dragon God was still so powerful that it was shocking. The current Eastern Divine Dragon seemed to have transformed into an unparalleled and immortal divine spirit. His dragon claw. It also became the Holy Claw. The Eastern Dragon God's dragon claws grabbed at the demonic pearl again, trying to subdue it. This guy was very greedy for the demonic bead and couldn't wait to take it for himself. Right at this moment, a faint voice suddenly sounded from within the demonic bead. Time flies and the world changes. How many people still remember the past? The voice was hazy. He didn't hear it clearly. Next, an endless amount of demonic chi rumbled as an illusory figure appeared amidst the demonic chi. That figure. It was actually a woman. When he saw the woman, Lin Feng was shocked. How could a woman appear in the demonic bead? When Lin Feng first obtained the demonic bead, he remembered seeing a boundless world when his divine consciousness entered the inner space of the demonic bead. In the world of the demonic bead, there was an immemorial dragonesque elephant. The immemorial dragonesque elephant was chained up by chains. Of course, the vision Lin Feng saw might not be real. It might just be some special images that appeared in the demonic bead. However, Lin Feng didn't know that there was a woman in the demonic bead even though he had obtained it for such a long time. This woman was so beautiful, so holy, and so otherworldly. She was like a fairy who had fallen from the 9 heavens to the mortal world. She was like a fairy who had descended from the 9 heavens. Even looking at her seemed to be a kind of blasphemy. Could she be a weapon spirit? Lin Feng couldn't help but be puzzled. He couldn't determine the true identity of the woman. The sudden appearance of the woman caught Lin Feng off guard. "Who are you?" When he saw the woman, the Eastern Dragon God stopped attacking. He looked at the woman with a solemn expression. Ever since the Eastern Dragon God was born, he had been fearless. However, this was the first time he showed such a serious expression. Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter to himself. There was actually an existence in this world that could make this annoying guy afraid? The mountains and rivers are gone. My homeland is gone. My heart is dead. Looking back on the long road, I feel that everything is like a flower in the mirror. It's so sad that I don't want to wake up, the woman murmured. Her voice was very soft. Neither the Eastern Dragon God nor Lin Feng could hear what the woman was saying. However, no matter what she was saying, it must have something to do with the situation in front of them. What are you murmuring about? Didn't you hear my question? Do you believe that I Long Outyen will eat you? The Eastern Dragon God glared at the woman. Long Outyen was this guy's name. A little loach dares to be so presumptuous? The woman raised her head and looked at the Eastern Dragon God. In the face of such a terrifying existence like the Eastern Dragon God, her tone was so calm. It was as if the person standing in front of her wasn't an Eastern Dragon God, but a little loach. Not an item spirit? Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter to himself. He increasingly felt that the woman wasn't the item spirit of the demonic orb. However, it was difficult to guess her exact identity. How dare you humiliate me, Long Outyen! You have successfully angered me, Long Outyen! Now you shall suffer the wrath of Long Outyen! The Eastern Dragon God roared furiously. Then, a loud rumbling sound was heard. His huge body quickly charged towards the mysterious woman. Divine Dragon Claws! The Eastern Divine Dragon struck out with its huge claw, which was as huge as a mountain, towards the woman. Ha 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 ha! I, Long Outyen, will beat you into a pulp! Long Outyen couldn't help but laugh. This guy had always been extremely arrogant. This attitude seemed to be integrated into his blood, his bones, and his soul. That terrifying claw was so powerful that it even shattered the void. Although Lin Feng was unhappy with Long Outyen, he had to admit that Long Outyen was indeed very powerful. The huge claws slapped down viciously. Just as it was about to land on the woman's body, the woman waved her sleeve and casually swept it away. Long Outyen was struck by lightning. He was sent flying. God knows how many dragon scales on his body had been shaken off. Moreover, there were many wounds on his body. Chapter 31:17. Ah, it hurts so much. What is this little girl? How can you be so powerful? The Eastern Dragon God shrieked in agony. He had suffered such a huge loss that he even wanted to cry himself to death. However, the Eastern Dragon God was quite ferocious. After roaring a few times, he opened his bloody mouth and spat out a powerful dragon breath. The dragon breath that covered the sky shrouded the mysterious woman. The Eastern Dragon God wanted to use the dragon breath to deal with the mysterious woman. However, the mysterious woman was too powerful. She only used her right hand to sweep the dragon breath gently. The dragon breath collapsed. After that, an invisible force that was so terrifying that it made people pale with fright hit the Eastern Dragon God's body. The Eastern Dragon God was sent flying by the force of the attack. Dragon scales continued to fall off. More and more wounds appeared. Fresh blood flowed out. Looking at the miserable state the Eastern Dragon God was in, Lin Feng doubted if his eyes were playing tricks on him. The Eastern Dragon God had such a terrifying cultivation level, but in front of this mysterious woman, he did not even have the strength to resist. It was too shocking. It was hard to imagine how terrifying the mysterious woman's combat strength was. It was really shocking. Today I, Long Outyen, have lost. It's a small world. When I, Long Outyen, have recovered my cultivation, I, Long Outyen, will be back. At that time I, Long Outyen, will definitely keep you as my human pet. Keek keek. The Eastern Dragon God could not help but laugh strangely. Following that, His huge body dashed into the distance. This guy actually wanted to run away. Before he escaped, he even said something that sounded very pretentious. Although the origin energy of a little loach isn't much, it's better than nothing, the mysterious woman in the demonic pearl murmured. Her jade-like hand made a grabbing motion across the void. The Eastern dragon god, who had escaped far away, seemed to be devoured by some terrifying force. His body flew uncontrollably toward the mysterious woman. Damn! You can't be trying to trick me, Long Outyen, right? I've just escaped and I've already met such a pervert. Long Outyen could not help but scream in fear. This guy was so arrogant before, but now he was scared out of his wits. That was because that mysterious woman was simply too terrifying. Long Outyen felt a chill run down his spine. Facing the woman's attack, he couldn't even resist. Clearly, the gap between the two was too great. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been so powerless to resist. If God gave him a chance to start over. Long Outyen told himself that he would never provoke Lin Feng again. This was because the demonic orb was now Lin Feng's treasure. Long Outyen felt that he was really unlucky to have encountered such a terrifying existence not long after he was born. As expected, it was better to keep a low profile. Previously, he had been too high profile and looked down on everyone. That was why he had ended up in this situation. Spare me! Heroine, fairy, goddess, ancestor, grandaunt, please spare me! Long Outyen could not help but beg when he realized that he could not break free. This fellow was truly an unprincipled fellow. Such a powerful existence. He actually begged for mercy in such a humble manner. Lin Feng rolled his eyes after hearing Outyen's begging. This fellow's skin was simply too thick. There was nothing that this fellow could not say. However, the mysterious woman ignored Long Outyen's begging. The mysterious woman placed her palm on Long Outyen's head. Then, Long Outyen's origin energy was forcefully taken away by the woman. Lin Feng could not help but feel a chill run down his spine when he saw this. That woman's methods were simply too overbearing and ruthless. Forcefully taking someone else's origin energy. This was Lin Feng's first time seeing such an ability. F***ck your entire family. Long Outyen cursed as he struggled. This fellow probably knew that he could not escape this calamity, so he went all out. What a pathetic escapee! Lin Feng rolled his eyes and muttered when he saw Long Outyen's origin energy being sucked away by the mysterious woman. Long Outyen was strong enough. If he was given some time to recover, he would definitely become a powerhouse that could shake the heavens. However, this fellow did not seem to have the chance anymore. As the mysterious woman continued to devour the source energy in his body became smaller and smaller. His body, which was originally 3,000 feet long and looked like a winding mountain ridge, continued to shrink and shrink. In the end, Long Outyen's body was only slightly more than a meter long. If the mysterious woman continued to devour his origin energy, Long Outyen would definitely turn into a dried corpse. By then, he would definitely die without a burial place. However, the woman did not completely devour Long Outyen's origin energy. Instead, she flicked her finger. Long Outyen was sent flying by the impact. Long Outyen fell into the forest. He was only slightly more than a meter long, but now he looked like a strange little golden snake with long horns. Long Outyen did not dare to stay any longer. He quickly rushed into the forest and escaped. Lin Feng looked at the mysterious woman in shock. Who was she? What extraordinary background did she have? The woman gave Lin Feng a deep sense of unease. Because this woman was simply too powerful. If the woman wanted to harm him, he would definitely not be able to resist. Lin Feng even prayed that the woman would take the demonic orb and leave. After all, he had already obtained the cultivation method of the Archean dragonesque elephant technique. He had enough treasures on him. If he did not want the demonic orb, then so be it. As for the shocking secret hidden in the demonic orb, he did not want to explore it. However, the mysterious woman did not seem to have any intention of leaving. The mysterious woman stood in the void. Her eyes were blurred, and no one knew what she was thinking. Endless years! How long is life? How many of my old friends are still alive? Suddenly, the woman muttered. It was still a language that Lin Feng could not understand. Moreover, her voice was extremely soft. Even though Lin Feng could understand her language, he didn't understand. He probably could not hear what she was saying. At this moment, Lin Feng suddenly felt sadness coming from the mysterious woman. She seemed to be sad about something. However, Lin Feng did not know what she was sad about. In the end, the woman sighed. It's better to sleep than to wake up. I hope I never wake up again. In the end, the mysterious woman entered the demonic orb again. The demonic orb quickly flew toward Lin Feng. Chapter 31:18. Lin Feng had a bitter smile on his face. The demon orb had returned to his dantian, but he couldn't feel happy about it. Lin Feng already knew that the demon orb was strange. Now, his guess had come true. Lin Feng felt that he should have a good talk with the demon lord. The demon lord resided in the demon orb. Perhaps the demon lord knew the identity of the mysterious woman. Demon lord! Who is that woman? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. The demon lord chose to remain silent and didn't answer Lin Feng. He didn't even communicate with Lin Feng. Is this a secret? Lin Feng couldn't help but continue asking. He was unwilling to give up and hoped to hear the answer he wanted from the demon lord. This was because, aside from the demon lord, Lin Feng didn't know who else to ask about the mysterious woman's identity. However, the demon lord still didn't pay attention to Lin Feng. Lin Feng kept sending voice transmissions to the demon lord, asking about the woman's identity. However, the demon lord's attitude never changed. This made Lin Feng extremely depressed. The demon lord was too tight-lipped. If he didn't want to say anything, it would be as difficult as ascending to the heavens to get information from him. After a long time, the demon lord said, I don't know who she is. After so many years, I never knew that such an existence existed in the demon orb. After hearing the demon lord's words, Lin Feng couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. Then, a chill ran down his spine and into his brain. At that moment, Lin Feng couldn't help but feel a bone-chilling aura enveloping his body. No matter what, the demon lord was one of the 72 big shots of the Undying Realm in the past. He was a powerhouse from the immemorial era. Even the demon lord couldn't discover that woman's existence. Wasn't that woman's concealment method too terrifying? It was truly shocking and inconceivable, causing everyone to be shocked and emotionally moved. Such an existence had always been hidden in the demonic bead, and he did not know who she was. Naturally, Lin Feng would be more worried about his own safety. But now, the demonic orb seemed to have formed an extremely close connection with him. It was as if they had been connected by fate and could no longer be separated. Therefore, it was impossible for him to lose the demonic orb now. The existence of the demon bead caused Lin Feng to feel extremely uneasy. However, after thinking about it, it was precisely due to the existence of the demon bead that he had been able to avert danger several times. Thinking of this, Lin Feng felt much better. Controlling a treasure like the demonic orb was not entirely a bad thing. There were good things too. Lin Feng didn't have the heart to continue staying here. Moreover, the commotion just now was so big that it would probably attract many experts. This wasn't a place to stay for long. Lin Feng didn't dare to stay any longer. He quickly flew into the distance. In the next few days, Lin Feng had been sensing the internal space of the demonic orb. He wanted to find the place where that woman was hibernating. However, he found nothing. The demonic orb had formed a master-servant contract with Lin Feng. However, many places were still very mysterious. Even Lin Feng, the master, couldn't explore them. Lin Feng was already mentally prepared for this. Although he was a little disappointed, it wasn't unacceptable. Not long after, Lin Feng heard that a sacred medicine valley had appeared on Lulan Island. Many precious spiritual herbs grew there. It was said that there was an ancient sacred tree growing in the depths of the sacred medicine valley. The sacred tree was shrouded in sacred light, so no one could see its exact appearance. However, many people could smell the fragrance of fruits from the sacred tree. The sacred tree definitely bore sacred fruits. Now that the fruits had ripened, they could be plucked and consumed. I heard that many cultivators who smelled the fragrance of the sacred fruits directly gained enlightenment and broke through to the next level, a cultivator said. He was extremely shocked and didn't dare to believe the rumors. However, he still told the others what he had heard. Is it that magical? What kind of sacred tree is it? Some cultivators exclaimed in disbelief. I'm not sure. However, some say that it's a Tao tree. Some say that it's a sacred Tao tree. No matter which ancient tree it is, it's heaven-defying. The fruits it bears can help cultivators gain enlightenment and greatly increase their cultivation, another cultivator said. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go and try our luck. Let's see if we can get some sacred fruits. Some cultivators couldn't wait any longer. Many cultivators on Lulon Island who heard about the sacred tree rushed to the sacred medicine valley in groups. There were too many spirit herbs growing in the sacred medicine valley, so even if they couldn't get the sacred fruit, they would still be able to obtain it. Even if they couldn't get their hands on the sacred tree, it would be a worthwhile trip if they could get some other precious herbs. Lin Feng couldn't help but feel excited when he heard about the sacred tree. A treasure that could increase one's cultivation would naturally make one go wild with joy. Such a treasure would definitely be shocking. Anyone who heard about it would be tempted. Lin Feng was no exception. Lin Feng asked around for directions to the sacred medicine valley and quickly flew there. Along the way, he saw many cultivators heading to the sacred medicine valley. Little brother, are you heading to the sacred medicine valley as well? A middle-aged cultivator asked Lin Feng. This was a middle-aged human cultivator. There were more than 100 people in the group. There were human cultivators and Yao cultivators. They were all cultivators from the 9 states who had teamed up to explore Lulon Island. There were relatively fewer cultivators in the 9 states, so they preferred to work together. That way, they could look out for each other in times of danger. Yes. Lin Feng nodded. We've received news that the cultivators in the sacred medicine valley have gone crazy. Little brother, it's too dangerous to travel alone. Why don't you join our group? The middle-aged cultivator invited Lu Xian. The others also looked at Lin Feng kindly. This was because of the invasion of the 10,000 races, extraterrestrial races, and other external forces. Therefore, the cultivators of the 9 states were unprecedentedly united. Thank you, uncle! Lin Feng cupped his fists and thanked the middle-aged man. Little brother, you're welcome. We cultivators of the 9 states are one family. It's only right for us to be united and help each other, the middle-aged cultivator said with a smile. No one in the group recognized Lin Feng's identity. After all, the 9 states was very vast. Many people might have seen Lin Feng before, but these people were scattered all over the 9 states. Therefore, it was not easy to meet Lin Feng again. Among these people, no one had seen Lin Feng before. Everyone hurried along. There were a few young cultivators in the group who were looking forward to the sacred medicine valley, but they were also very nervous. This was because the sacred medicine valley was full of opportunities and dangers. When night fell, everyone looked for a place to rest. Lulon Island was very dangerous at night, especially when a group was traveling. They were too big of a target and could easily be ambushed by cultivators or attacked by ferocious beasts. Late at night, a terrifying aura spread out from the sacred medicine valley. It was as if some ancient existence had awakened from its slumber. Chapter 31:19. Looks like something has happened deep within the island, the demon lord said. Lin Feng nodded. Such a terrifying chi was coming from the depths of the cave, something astonishing had happened. Perhaps something terrifying was about to be born. All the cultivators on Lulon Island looked toward the island in shock. All of their faces had turned pale with shock. The aura and fluctuations emanating from deep within the island were simply too terrifying. No one could ignore such a huge commotion. Anyone who sensed such a terrifying fluctuation would pale with fright. Lin Feng said. As more and more cultivators enter Lulon Island, the secrets of Lulon Island are being unearthed. At this moment, Lin Feng thought of his father-in-law, the heavenly wind god. He was most likely the first cultivator to enter Lulon Island. What kind of opportunity did the heavenly wind god obtain on Lulon Island? That terrifying aura soon disappeared. After that fluctuation disappeared, everyone let out a long sigh of relief. Everyone scattered around and began to discuss the fluctuations emanating from deep within the island. Lin Feng was sitting next to the bonfire, and would occasionally add a few words. These cultivators were all very friendly, even though many of them came from different powers. But now, everyone took care of one another, so they were all quite honest with one another. The next day, the group continued on their journey. Lin Feng had always kept a low profile when he joined the group. The atmosphere within the group was very good. The cultivator who had organized this group was called Ping Yu. He was the middle-aged cultivator who had invited Lin Feng to join the group. Ping Yu didn't ask about Lin Feng's identity in detail. This was a taboo in the world of cultivators. Not only did Ping Yu not ask about Lin Feng's background, but he also didn't ask about everyone else's background. Perhaps it was because of this that everyone was able to stay in this group so comfortably. After asking about each other's backgrounds and learning about each other's identities. At that time, some unnecessary things might happen due to the difference in their identities. Instead, they would lack sincerity. For example, if Lin Feng's identity was exposed, these people would definitely come to curry favor with Lin Feng. This was not something Lin Feng wanted to see. If Lin Feng's identity was exposed, he wouldn't be able to stay in the group anymore. The team continued to fly quickly in the direction of the sacred Medicine Valley. There were many powerful ferocious beasts living on Lulon Island. Cultivators wanted to kill these ferocious beasts to obtain their essence. At the same time, these ferocious beasts also wanted to kill cultivators to devour their flesh, blood, soul essence, and even soul memories. Many ferocious beasts would constantly devour the flesh and soul essences of cultivators to improve their bloodline power. Then, the life level of these dire beasts. It would continue to improve. These ferocious beasts would also become stronger and stronger. Lin Feng's team was also besieged by fearsome beasts. They encountered a Beast King level existence. That terrifying Beast King was leading this group of beasts. In the beginning, the cultivators in Lin Feng's team saw the Beast King leading the group of beasts to kill more than a dozen cultivator teams. That Beast King level existence even injured an extraterritorial God Emperor level powerhouse. That God Emperor level powerhouse fled in a sorry state. Lin Feng's team avoided the Beast King and the group of beasts it led several times, but they were not surrounded in the end. The group of beasts began to besiege them. The Beast King eyed them covetously from the side. Many people even showed signs of despair. It was almost impossible to fight against the group of beasts, and that Beast King had yet to make a move. If that Beast King were to make a move, at that time, wouldn't all of them be wiped out? The group of beasts continued to besiege them, and their attacks became more and more violent. Many people could not hold on any longer. In the eyes of many cultivators, perhaps the Beast King did not need to make a move personally. The group of more than 100 people was likely to be drowned by the group of beasts. However, just as more and more people were feeling deep despair, suddenly, the powerful Beast King let out a low roar. Rumble! Then, the group of beasts that were besieging them quickly charged into the distance. In the blink of an eye, the group of beasts had disappeared without a trace. Seeing this scene, everyone could not help but show an extremely shocked expression. The group of beasts had launched such a fierce attack, and it looked like they could not hold on any longer. But at this time, the Beast King actually gave the order to retreat. This made many people feel incredulous. They did not know what was going on. The Beast King had no reason to order the group of beasts to retreat. "We can't stay here for long. Let's leave quickly," Ping Yu said in a low voice. Everyone did not dare to stay and quickly left the place. The Beast King stood on a mountain peak in the distance and watched the group of cultivators leave. The Beast King's cold eyes looked at a young cultivator in the group. Then, the Beast King could not help but murmur, "What a terrifying human cultivator! The killing intent he emitted just now was truly terrifying. This human cultivator is so young, but he already has the strength to threaten a great emperor?" Of course, no one heard the Beast King's words. Now, the cultivators in the group still felt a lingering fear. Just now, many of them thought that they were going to die this time. Now that they had survived, the feeling of surviving a calamity was really great. When night fell, everyone found a hidden valley to rest. Then, cultivators who knew array formation set up a great concealment array. After concealing the valley, everyone could rest in the valley without worry. A bonfire burned fiercely. There was a big pot on top of it. Meat soup was boiling in the pot. This soup was very extraordinary because Pingyu had added some spirit liquid. It was said that this spirit liquid was a recipe passed down in Pingyu's family. It could allow cultivators to quickly recover exhausted physical strength. It might be easier for cultivators to recover their magic power, but the consumption of physical strength was slower. If they wanted to recover their physical strength, they needed sufficient rest. However, Pingyu's ancestral spirit liquid greatly shortened the recovery time. After everyone drank the broth, they scattered and rested in different places. Lin Feng leaned against a big tree to rest. At that moment, a fragrant wind swept over. A female cultivator with a sexy figure wearing a fiery red dress came to Lin Feng's side. There were more than 30 female cultivators in the group, and a few of them were extremely beautiful. Chapter 31:20. Lin Feng had naturally noticed this female cultivator before, but he didn't know her name. Now that this female cultivator had come to him, Lin Feng felt a little puzzled. He didn't know why this female cultivator had come to him. Lin Feng stood up and cupped his fist towards the female cultivator. He said, "Fairy, is there something you need?" "Hee hee hee." The red-robed female cultivator let out a pleasant laugh and said, "Young master is too polite. This servant doesn't dare to call herself a fairy." Lin Feng smiled and didn't reply. The red-robed female cultivator said, "I have a sister who would like to meet young master. I wonder if there's a chance?" As the red-robed female cultivator spoke, she pointed at a female cultivator not far away. That female cultivator wore a pure white dress that completely revealed her tall and slender figure. The white-robed female cultivator had a small oval face that was incomparably exquisite and beautiful. That female cultivator was also one of the most beautiful female cultivators. Therefore, Lin Feng had some impression of her. TSK, being handsome is an advantage. Nayland Chinger seems to like that brat a lot." A cultivator smacked his lips as he watched the scene unfold. His eyes were filled with envy. Between cultivators, they were all natural and unrestrained. Therefore, whether it was a man chasing a woman or a woman chasing a man, they didn't feel embarrassed. Therefore, when the red-robed female cultivator helped the woman named Nayland Chinger ask Lin Feng about him, she didn't try to hide anything. "Nayland Chinger is the daughter of the Sunset Immortal Sex Vice Sect Master, Nayland Kuan. Her background is extremely extraordinary. If Nayland Chinger likes that brat, he can be considered lucky. Not only does Nayland Chinger have a good background, but she is also an outstanding beauty. Unfortunately, Nayland Chinger didn't take a fancy to me. If she did, it would be a blessing for her ancestors. If you want to capture the heart of a peerless beauty like Nayland Chinger, you not only need an outstanding appearance, but also talent and cultivation. Although that young cultivator is extremely low-key, I have been observing him. Just like when we were besieged by the beasts, everyone was extremely panicked and desperate, but this young cultivator was calm. Moreover, he alone killed more than a dozen extremely powerful ominous beasts. It can be seen that this person's psychological quality, talent, strength, and so on are all extremely outstanding. Such a young talent will definitely have a great future, so it's not strange that Nayland Chinger has taken a fancy to such a young talent. As the saying goes, fair and graceful women are sought after by gentlemen, but in reality, if they meet an outstanding young talent, these female cultivators will naturally be moved." Some of the cultivators in the group couldn't help but whisper to each other. Everyone looked at Lin Feng with great interest, wondering what Lin Feng's choice would be. To be admired by a peerless beauty like Neilin Qinger. If it were any other man, they would probably be wild with joy, right? Therefore, in many people's opinion, Lin Feng might be the same. Neilin Qinger was not a shy woman. When Lin Feng looked at her, she smiled. Her beautiful eyes couldn't help but look at Lin Feng. She was very bold. Seductress, Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter in his heart. This woman, Neilin Qinger, was definitely a demoness. Whether it was her figure or her appearance, they were all top-grade beauties. However, Lin Feng's thoughts were now on the various opportunities on Lulan Island. Therefore, he had no intention of provoking Neilin Qinger. Therefore, Lin Feng said, "Cultivating the Tao is difficult. Now that I'm focused on the Tao, I have no other thoughts for the time being." After hearing Lin Feng's words, many people couldn't help but be extremely surprised. Some were even shocked. Obviously, no one had expected Lin Feng to make such a decision. He didn't want a peerless beauty like Neilin Qinger who had offered herself to him. Was his head stuck in the door? Humph! The woman in the red dress couldn't help but snort softly. She seemed to be extremely dissatisfied with Lin Feng's words. Then, she turned around and walked toward Neilin Qinger. When Neilin Qinger heard Lin Feng's words, her pretty face turned slightly ugly. However, since Lin Feng had already made his decision, she naturally wouldn't stick to Lin Feng shamelessly. After all, Neilin Qinger was also a reputable figure. 2 days later, the group arrived at the Sacred Medicine Valley. The Sacred Medicine Valley was extremely huge. It covered a radius of more than 10 miles. When Lin Feng and the others arrived at the Sacred Medicine Valley, a large number of cultivators had already gathered there. The Sacred Medicine Valley exuded a rich medicinal fragrance. In the depths of the valley, there was chaos. The sacred tree grows in the depths of the chaos. Cultivators have already entered it. However, it is said that there is a dense array there. Many cultivators have suffered a calamity. Ordinary people no longer dare to enter it. Only the extremely powerful cultivators can give it a try. After arriving at the Sacred Medicine Valley, Lin Feng and the others received a piece of news. This news was naturally extremely important to them. Pengyu said, "There are many treasures in the Sacred Medicine Valley. Let's split up and search." Everyone nodded and then hurriedly split up. Lin Feng looked into the depths of the chaos. It should be very dangerous there. Naturally, it wouldn't be easy to obtain the sacred fruit. Even if those cultivators could reach the vicinity of the sacred tree, a huge battle would break out. However, the depths were very peaceful now. Lin Feng felt that they could wait for a while longer. It wouldn't be too late to enter the chaos world in the depths of the Sacred Medicine Valley when the battle broke out. He strolled around the Sacred Medicine Valley. The various spirit herbs in the Sacred Medicine Valley were enveloped by powerful restrictions. To obtain those spirit herbs, one had to break the restrictions first. However, it was very difficult to break the restrictions here. Not far away, a scream could be heard. A cultivator was attacked by the restrictions when he was trying to break the restrictions. In the end, he was killed by the restrictions. Some of the restrictions here were stronger. If one accidentally encountered a powerful restriction, it would be very dangerous. It was very likely that one would die tragically here like the cultivator just now. Some of the restrictions were relatively weaker. If one encountered a relatively weaker restriction, it would be easier. However, no one knew beforehand which restrictions were strong and which were weak. There was another special characteristic about the restrictions here. They were all enveloped by divine light. Therefore, it was impossible to know what spirit herbs were in the restrictions. Only after the restrictions were destroyed, only then would one know what spirit herbs were in the restrictions. Lin Feng broke more than 10 restrictions one after another. He actually obtained 3 spirit herbs that were more than 200,000 years old. The rest of the spirit herbs were also more than 100,000 years old. It was really too shocking. The spirit herbs here were truly extraordinary. Of course, there were also many restrictions that didn't have anything in them. However, Lin Feng was proficient in the dragon's searching incantation. The restrictions he opened definitely contained spirit herbs. Chapter 31:21. The commotion in the distance was so loud that it attracted Lin Feng's attention. He quickly walked towards the source of the commotion. Soon, he arrived and saw more than 10 cultivators surrounding Nayland Qinger and the woman in the red dress. The woman in the red dress was called Huaxianye. She and Nayland Qinger grew up together and were as close as sisters. Previously, they worked together to break the restrictions. The two of them went through a lot of hardships and finally broke one restriction. Inside the broken restriction was a blood ginseng that had been growing for 1.2 million years. Such an old blood ginseng was too precious. It had reached the level of an immortal medicine, so it attracted the attention of others. The cultivators surrounding Nayland Qinger and Huaxianye were a group of cultivators from the myriad races. The leader was a young expert from the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan. The Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan was one of the royal clans of the myriad races. It was said that this clan was very terrifying and had a secret technique to communicate with the moon. Through this secret technique, the cultivators of the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan could even borrow the power of the moon to fight against their enemies. Especially at night, the battle power of this clan's cultivators would be greatly increased. Other than their amazing talent and battle power, there was a huge difference between the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan and the other royal clans of the myriad races. The other royal clans of the myriad races usually had fewer people, but the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan had a lot of people. This might have something to do with their clan. Under normal circumstances, the stronger the bloodline, the harder it was for the clan to reproduce. Therefore, the stronger the bloodline, the fewer the clan members. Of course, this was not absolute. There would always be some unexpected situations in this world. For example, the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan was an exception. This clan had a lot of people and many of them were very talented. This cultivator of the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan was called Xiao Changfeng. This person was quite handsome, but his eyes were extremely long and narrow. From time to time, he would reveal a sinister look in his eyes, which made people's hair stand on end. This person wanted the blood ginseng. Nayland Qinger and Huaxianye naturally would not hand over something as precious as the blood ginseng. Don't refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. If you don't know what's good for you, we don't mind suppressing you. At that time, the blood ginseng will be ours, and you will also be ours. Xiao Chongfeng's evil eyes looked at Nayland Qinger and Huaxianye. Ha ha ha, that's a pretty good idea. These two girls are each prettier than the other. They're really the best in the world. That's right, she's definitely of the highest quality. If I can get close to her, I'd be willing to die. Many cultivators around Xiao Changfeng couldn't help but let out waves of filthy laughter. The group of people looked at Nayland Qinger and Huaxianye evilly. Shameless. Nayland Qinger and Huaxianye were so angry that their faces turned green. Shameless? In a moment, our brothers will let you know how shameless we are. All of you, go and capture these two women. Xiao Changfeng couldn't help but wave his hand as he sneered. Yes. After receiving the order, Xiao Changfeng's lackeys were about to take action. The two girls were naturally no match for these people. However, at this time, Pingyu rushed over with a group of people. Don't go too far. We, the cultivators of 9 regions, are not that easy to bully, Pingyu said indifferently. The cultivators of 9 regions are not that easy to bully? Who the F***ck do you think you are? Other than Lin Feng, who else in 9 regions dares to say this? Do you deserve to say this? Kneel down. Xiao Changfeng's expression suddenly became cold. He let out a fierce roar. Then, a terrifying pressure was emitted from Xiao Changfeng's body. That terrifying pressure directly enveloped Pingyu and the others. Facing that terrifying pressure, Pingyu and the others' bodies were immediately imprisoned. They couldn't struggle at all. Moreover, that terrifying pressure forced Pingyu to kneel on the ground. Pingyu couldn't help but roar. He was trying hard to resist that terrifying pressure, but his body was trembling violently. Facing such a terrifying pressure, Pingyu couldn't resist at all. If it wasn't for his strong willpower, Pingyu might have already knelt on the ground. Domineering aura, it's domineering aura. Rumor has it that Xiao Changfeng has mastered the mysterious domineering aura. Once his domineering aura is released, he's invincible. It seems that the rumor is true. Xiao Changfeng really has mastered the domineering aura. Suddenly, the cultivators of thousands of races exclaimed. Many people were shocked when they heard this. Domineering aura was too mysterious for cultivators. Any kind of domineering aura was incomparably powerful. Mastering the domineering aura meant that the cultivator's talent had risen to another level. It was a level that countless geniuses could only look up to. Xiao Changfeng had mastered the domineering aura. How many peerless geniuses and great emperors haven't mastered the domineering aura? Xiao Changfeng has mastered the domineering aura. Xiao Changfeng is really terrifying. If he becomes an emperor in the future, how terrifying will he be? If a cultivator who has mastered the domineering aura becomes an emperor, he can definitely cross several levels to fight against enemies. Xiao Changfeng has mastered the domineering aura. These human cultivators have no power to resist at all. Apart from Lin Feng, these lowly human cultivators can't find a second powerful person. This guy actually dares to jump around in front of Xiao Changfeng. I'm looking forward to seeing how Xiao Changfeng will deal with him later. Ha ha ha, I'm also looking forward to seeing this scene. Suddenly, many cultivators of the thousands of races, extraterritorial races, and other foreign forces began to discuss spiritedly. These people were waiting to watch a good show. Some of the surrounding 9 provinces' cultivators' faces were extremely gloomy. Lowly bloodline dog, I'd like to see how long you can hold on. Xiao Changfeng looked indifferently at Pingyu, who was struggling to hold on. The corners of his mouth curled up into a sinister arc. His gaze towards Pingyu was full of ridicule. It was like the gaze of a cat playing with a mouse. Humph! At this moment, a cold snort suddenly resounded. Everyone saw a young human cultivator step out. This cultivator was none other than Lin Feng. You only have mastered the white domineering aura. How dare you be so arrogant? You really don't know what's good for you. Lin Feng looked at Xiao Changfeng indifferently. Chapter 31-22. Obviously, Nailan Qinga was very worried that Lin Feng would suffer a loss in the hands of Xiao Changfeng, so she wanted Lin Feng to leave this place quickly. Xiao Changfeng was really too powerful. There was no way to resist at all. Ha ha ha, I like to see these lowly humans' desperate and helpless expressions the most. Suddenly, many cultivators from the myriad races, extraterritorial races, and other foreign forces laughed sinisterly. All these years, because of Lin Feng's existence, because of Lin Feng's deterrence to the 3 forces. This caused many people's mentality to become distorted. Now, seeing Xiao Changfeng oppressing Pingyu and the others, all of them felt incomparably carefree. You think you can leave just because you want to? If you want to leave, you can. Come over and crawl under my crotch, and I will let you go. Xiao Changfeng looked at Lin Feng with a mocking gaze. This person had a high and mighty expression, and he did not put Lin Feng in his eyes at all. His high and mighty attitude was completely emitted from his bones. Xiao Changfeng's pair of cold eyes looked at Lin Feng. That pair of eyes emitted a burst of ghastly light, making people feel a sense of creepiness. The humiliation of crawling under his crotch? Xiao Changfeng is really something. He can even think of such a humiliating method. Admirable, admirable, I really admire Xiao Changfeng. If he really crawls under Xiao Changfeng's crotch, how can he live in the future? At that time, today's experience will definitely become a nightmare. That's right, at that time, this person will be completely crippled. Those myriad races, extraterritorial races, and other foreign forces cultivators all began to discuss. Their discussion was very loud, without any consideration, as if they deliberately wanted to be heard by others. The expressions of those cultivators of the 9 regions were quite ugly. However, a terrifying existence like Xiao Changfeng was simply unable to contend with, and they were powerless. Hearing Xiao Changfeng's excessive request, Nayland Qinger's expression became extremely ugly. Now, it seemed that even Lin Feng was going to be implicated. Although she had asked Hu Xine to convey her intention to get to know Lin Feng, and Lin Feng had rejected her, Nayland Qinger did not hate Lin Feng because of this matter. She still felt that Lin Feng was a man who made her heart pound. Men could be attracted to women, and women could also be attracted to men. Not everyone would deliberately hide their inner thoughts. "Kid, what are you waiting for? Didn't you hear Brother Xiao telling you to crawl between her legs? Hurry up and crawl under Brother Zhao's crotch. Our time is very precious. Don't waste our time." The group of cultivators beside Xiao Changfeng suddenly shouted out loudly. All of them cast looks of ridicule at Lin Feng. In their eyes, Lin Feng was just a target for them to tease. As for how much of a threat Lin Feng could pose to them, these people did not even consider this point. Lin Feng looked at Xiao Changfeng and said indifferently, "Just based on what you just said, even if the great emperor of your clan comes, he won't be able to save your dog life." Hearing Lin Feng's incomparably arrogant words, everyone could not help but be stunned. This kid actually dared to say such words. Wasn't this too audacious? He did not put Xiao Changfeng in his eyes at all. To provoke Xiao Changfeng in such a manner, he was truly courting death. "This kid is dead for sure. I wonder how Xiao Changfeng will kill him later? I don't think Xiao Changfeng will kill him directly. He will probably torture him first, and only kill him after he's done torturing him." The cultivators from the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other external forces all looked at Lin Feng indifferently. When Lin Feng said those words, the group of people already knew that Lin Feng was dead for sure. Absolutely no one could save Lin Feng. "You're courting death! You're courting death!" Xiao Changfeng's eyes could not help but reveal a dense killing intent. His eyes were practically spitting fire. "Capture this kid for me. Later, this young master will torture him ruthlessly. I want him to kneel in front of this young master like a dog and beg me to give him a quick death," Xiao Changfeng said with a gloomy expression. "Yes." After receiving the order, the group of people hurriedly responded. Then, these cultivators pounced on Lin Feng like wolves and tigers. In many people's opinion, a young human cultivator like Lin Feng did not even have the strength to resist. However, they soon saw a scene that was enough to make everyone turn pale with fright. Bang! 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 Violent explosions spread in the air. The cultivators of the 10,000 clans, foreign clans, and other influential groups who were rushing towards Lin Feng exploded one after another. They died on the spot. "Heavens, how is this possible?" After seeing this scene, many people exclaimed. They could not believe their eyes. "Look carefully, the space around him is distorted. How terrifying is this person? How can he cause the space around him to distort?" Then, an extraterrestrial race cultivator pointed at the distorted space around Lin Feng and shouted in disbelief. His face was filled with shock. Everyone looked over and saw the distorted space around Lin Feng. Everyone's expression changed abruptly. "Heavens, he's actually so powerful?" Nayland Qinger's beautiful eyes revealed a deep sense of shock. She knew that Lin Feng's talent was not ordinary, and his cultivation was also quite strong. However, she definitely did not expect Lin Feng to be so powerful. Hu Xine's beautiful eyes could not help but light up when she looked at Lin Feng. Such a proud son of heaven. She couldn't help but feel extremely interested. She wanted to know more about Lin Feng. "Kid, I didn't expect you to be so capable. However, since you've offended me today, it's your end." Seeing that his followers had all died here, Xiao Changfeng was completely enraged. The killing intent in his heart surged to the heavens. If he could not kill Lin Feng today, then Xiao Changfeng's reputation would be completely ruined. Xiao Changfeng began to condense a powerful divine ability, wanting to kill Lin Feng completely. However, at this moment, A myriad races cultivators seemed to have recognized Lin Feng's identity. His eyes were instantly filled with fear. You're courting death, courting death! How dare you provoke this person? Xiao Changfeng is simply courting death! The myriad races cultivator's voice trembled as he shouted. Who is he? Someone asked. He's Lin Feng, the myriad races cultivator said. When the name, Lin Feng, was mentioned, the surroundings became so quiet that one could hear a pin drop. It was so quiet that it was somewhat strange. Chapter 31-23. Who didn't know Lin Feng's name? It could be said that without holding back. Lin Feng was simply a nightmare for the myriad races, the extraterritorial races, and the other cultivators from the outside world. It turned out that when Lin Feng's cultivation was relatively weak, so many of the geniuses from the three forces had been killed by Lin Feng. Moreover, Lin Feng had also carried out a massacre on the Tianwu continent. Countless people from the three forces had died in Lin Feng's hands. And as Lin Feng's cultivation increased, even the great Emperor Realm cultivators could be killed by Lin Feng. The myriad races, the extraterritorial races, and the other cultivators from the outside world didn't even need to mention Lin Feng's name when they talked about him. Instead, they used that person to replace Lin Feng's name. Many people from the three forces viewed Lin Feng as a demon. And now, Lin Feng actually appeared in this place. He's actually that person. The myriad races, the extraterritorial races, and the other cultivators from the outside world all looked at Lin Feng in horror. Their faces were filled with shock and emotion. Everyone's hearts were filled with deep fear. Lin Feng was simply too powerful. He was like a towering mountain that they could only look up to. He's actually Lin Feng. Nailin Qinger couldn't help but take a deep breath. Only at this moment did she know who the man she admired was. It was actually the famous Lin Feng. Who in the world didn't know him? Who in the 9 prefectures didn't know Lin Feng? Perhaps even the ancestors of the myriad races had already heard of Lin Feng's name. After knowing Lin Feng's identity, other than deep shock, Nailin Qinger couldn't help but feel a sense of loss. Previously, Lin Feng had tactfully rejected further contact with her. Was it because he didn't like her? Lin Feng, he's actually the legendary Lin Feng. Hu Xianyi's beautiful eyes stared unblinkingly at Lin Feng. She couldn't help but lick her red lips. She had already heard the name Lin Feng countless times. She had always wanted to meet him. But there was no chance. Right now, he finally saw Lin Feng. Only after seeing him did they realize that Lin Feng was so extraordinarily handsome. He was like a god descending from the heavens, causing people to be fascinated. At this moment, Xiao Changfeng's face turned extremely pale. Although Xiao Changfeng was very powerful, Xiao Changfeng was very self-aware. He knew that compared to Lin Feng, the gap between him and him was extremely large. Now, Xiao Changfeng had restrained his aura and looked at Lin Feng warily. Do you want to live or die? Lin Feng looked at Xiao Changfeng indifferently. Live! Xiao Changfeng said with a gloomy expression. At this moment, he was extremely sullen in his heart, but he couldn't resist Lin Feng. Because Lin Feng was simply too powerful. He wasn't someone he could fight against. Therefore, no matter how sullen he was at this moment, he could only suppress it in his heart, not daring to express it. Don't you like to humiliate others? Kneel on the ground now and slap yourself 10 times. Then, I'll spare your life, Lin Feng said indifferently. As soon as Lin Feng said that, the surrounding cultivators were in an uproar. Xiao Changfeng was a top genius of the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan. He had the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan behind him. Lin Feng actually asked Xiao Changfeng to kneel on the ground. If Xiao Changfeng really kneeled, the entire Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan would be humiliated. At that time, Lin Feng and the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan would definitely fight to the death. However, Lin Feng didn't seem to care about this at all. Devil, he's really a devil! Many cultivators from the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces couldn't help but mutter. In their eyes, Lin Feng was a complete devil. It simply made everyone from the three forces extremely afraid. Xiao Changfeng's face became incomparably gloomy. Now, he was in a dilemma. It's never too late for a gentleman to take revenge. Xiao Changfeng persuaded himself like this. With a plop. Then, Xiao Changfeng knelt on the ground. Pa pa pa, then, Xiao Changfeng raised his hands and slapped his face. He forced the top geniuses of the myriad races to kneel on the ground and slap their own faces in order to survive. Lin Feng was the first person who dared to do this. He was also the first person who scared countless cultivators of the myriad races out of their wits. Domineering! Lin Gongzi is really domineering! The cultivators of the 9 regions all felt their blood boiling. Xiao Changfeng, who was previously extremely arrogant and looked down on the human race, was now kneeling on the ground and slapping his own face like a stray dog. Was there anything more satisfying than this? Ping Yu and the other cultivators who had been in the same team as Lin Feng were even more shocked. Previously, many people had paid attention to Lin Feng. They felt that Lin Feng had always been very low-key, but they did not expect that the young man who joined their team was actually the famous Lin Feng of the 9 regions. Although Lin Feng usually kept a low profile, when he really made a move, he was incomparably domineering. Many people could not help but feel a deep sense of admiration. After slapping himself 10 times in a row, Xiao Changfeng said with a gloomy expression, "Can I leave now?" "Of course not," Lin Feng said indifferently. After hearing Lin Feng's words, many people were stunned. Could it be that this devil wants to go back on his words? The cultivators of the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces could not help but mutter in their hearts. They couldn't help but look at Xiao Changfeng with pity in their eyes. Xiao Changfeng's expression changed drastically. He thought that Lin Feng was going to kill him. His voice trembled as he said, "You said that you won't kill me. You are a top genius of the human race. How can you go back on your words? Don't you humans value promises the most? You can't kill me. You can't kill me. Spare me. As long as you spare me, I will immediately leave the 9 regions. I can swear that I will never set foot in the 9 regions again." Xiao Changfeng had completely lost his composure. He still had a good time and a bright future ahead of him. He was still very young. He did not want to die. A bad life was better than a good death. If one could live, no one would want to die. Lin Feng said indifferently, "Since I said that I won't kill you, I won't kill you. However, I plan to capture you and wait for your clansmen to come and ransom you. After all, you possess a domineering aura. Your future is promising. You should be worth a lot of money, right?" After hearing Lin Feng's words, Xiao Changfeng finally heaved a sigh of relief. At the very least, his life was spared. Lin Feng then suppressed Xiao Changfeng within the 4 vicious cauldrons. This guy actually wants to use Xiao Changfeng to threaten the Silvermoon Celestial Wolf clan. He actually dares to do such a thing. This devil is fearless. There's nothing he doesn't dare to do. Chapter 31-24. Before Xiao Changfeng, Lin Feng had also suppressed Wang Xingheng from the Eternal River Galaxy. Now, Lin Feng had already suppressed 2 geniuses. Lin Feng intended to use these geniuses to exchange for the 3,000 great paths. Thinking of the dozens of 3,000 great paths that he was about to obtain, Lin Feng suddenly became extremely happy. Whether it was the Eternal River Galaxy or the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf race, they were extremely large races. These 2 races could definitely take out 3,000 great paths. "Are you all okay?" Lin Feng looked at everyone. "We are fine. Thank you, Lin Gongzi, for your help," Ping Yu and the others quickly said. Seeing that Ping Yu and the others were so polite, Lin Feng knew that it was time for him to lead the team. "Thank you, Lin Gongzi, for saving our lives." Neilin Qinger and Hui Xianni came forward to express their gratitude. These 2 women were both peerless beauties of the highest quality. They looked at Lin Feng affectionately. Many people could not help but mutter. If Lin Feng had used some tricks, he might have been able to capture the hearts of these beauties. You don't have to be so polite. We have known each other for a while. Naturally, we should help each other, Lin Feng said. Then, without stopping, he walked into the depths of the chaotic world. Originally, he had wanted to continue looking for some other spiritual herbs, but now his identity had been exposed. If he continued to stay outside, he would attract countless people's attention. Lin Feng did not want to be surrounded by people. Therefore, Lin Feng simply entered the chaotic world in the depths of the sacred Medicine Valley. Seeing Lin Feng leave, Nailin Qinger sighed softly in her heart. She could feel that Lin Feng was estranged from her. The two of them seemed to be destined to be people from two different worlds. Huaxiani squinted her phoenix eyes as she watched Lin Feng leave. Light flashed in her eyes, and no one knew what she was thinking. The people outside were still discussing what had just happened. Lin Feng's strength had deeply shocked everyone present. At this time, Lin Feng had already entered the depths of the chaotic world. Inside the chaotic world, there were powerful seals. The seals here were extremely terrifying. If one was careless, they could be killed by the seals. Of course, Lin Feng was proficient in all kinds of great arrays. Therefore, even though the restrictions here were very powerful, they were still very powerful. However, it was unable to cause any harm to Lin Feng. Lin Feng went deep into the primal chaos world. Along the way, he saw many broken limbs. Those severed limbs were obviously left behind by the fallen cultivators who had entered this place. It seems that many people have died. Lin Feng couldn't help but frown. The void here is distorted, the Demon Lord said. Hearing that, Lin Feng carefully sensed his surroundings. As expected, the space there was distorted. It meant that this place was different from the outside world. This world shrouded in primal chaos had its own independent spatial laws. When there was an independent space law, the space here would expand a lot. At this time, a scream came from the depths. When Lin Feng heard that horrible shriek, he sped up and rushed into the depths of the forest. Soon, he arrived at the depths and saw a ferocious beast pouncing on a cultivator to the ground. When Lin Feng arrived, the cultivator's neck had already been bitten off by the ferocious beast. The ferocious beast was extremely strange. Its head was like a dragon and a lion. Its body was like a tiger, but it was densely covered with silver scales. Its body was 5 meters long and 4 meters tall. Its body emitted an extremely terrifying aura. After feeling that terrifying aura, Lin Feng's expression couldn't help but become slightly solemn. This ferocious beast was definitely not simple. However, he had never seen such a ferocious beast before. This was the first time he had seen such a ferocious beast. Therefore, Lin Feng didn't know what kind of race that ferocious beast was. Demon Lord, do you know this kind of ferocious beast? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. The Demon Lord said. I have never seen such a ferocious beast before. I don't know what kind of race it is. There were too many races in the universe, as many as the hairs on an ox. Therefore, it was normal that Lin Feng and the Demon Lord couldn't recognize the race of this ferocious beast. The terrifying ferocious beast looked at Lin Feng coldly. Then, the ferocious beast abandoned the cultivator it had killed. Roar! The ferocious beast let out a low roar. Then, the ferocious beast leaped out and pounced towards Lin Feng. A terrifying aura was emitted from the ferocious beast's body. The ferocious beast's speed was too fast. It was as fast as lightning. In the blink of an eye, it had already rushed in front of Lin Feng. Its incomparably sharp claws directly grabbed towards Lin Feng. I'll just kill you and stew you! Lin Feng raised his right hand and directly slashed out a dazzling sword chi towards the ferocious beast that was pouncing towards him. The dazzling sword chi tore through the void and quickly slashed towards the ferocious beast. The Demon Lord couldn't help but roll his eyes. Because this guy Lin Feng always seemed to be unable to live without eating. He was simply a complete glutton. Seeing that Lin Feng's sword chi was about to pierce through the ferocious beast's body in an instant. But at this time, with a swoosh, a light flashed. The ferocious beast actually disappeared without a trace. Lin Feng's attack slashed through the air. The ferocious beast's attack was very similar to a teleportation technique. The next moment, the ferocious beast appeared behind Lin Feng. The ferocious beast's eyes flashed with dense killing intent as it coldly looked at Lin Feng. Swoosh! Then, the ferocious beast once again waved its claws and slapped towards Lin Feng. The sharp claws flashed with terrifying cold light. Just as it was about to hit Lin Feng's body quickly moved sideways to the left. He narrowly avoided the ferocious beast's sharp claws. Then, Lin Feng kicked over. This side kick landed on the ferocious beast's body, and suddenly, there was a dull collision sound. Bang! Accompanied by the dull collision sound, there was a dull collision sound. The ferocious beast was directly sent flying by Lin Feng's kick. Crack, crack! Countless bones in the ferocious beast's body were directly broken. Lin Feng quickly charged towards the ferocious beast, wanting to kill it, but the ferocious beast's body was rapidly dissipating. What's going on? Lin Feng frowned slightly. The ferocious beast just now didn't seem to be real. But when he was fighting against the ferocious beast, Lin Feng clearly felt that the ferocious beast was a real one. This place is really strange. Lin Feng couldn't help but mumble to himself. At this time, there was a violent fluctuation coming from the depths. When the fluctuation came out, a refreshing fruity fragrance immediately pervaded the air. It's the fruity fragrance of the holy fruit! Lin Feng couldn't help but look towards the depths in surprise. Chapter 31:25. The fluctuations coming from the sacred fruit were no small matter, so Lin Fan had no idea what was going on. However, what surprised Lin Feng was that the fluctuations quickly disappeared without a trace. It was extremely strange. Although the fluctuations from the sacred fruit had disappeared, Lin Feng didn't slow down. He wanted to enter and see what was going on with the sacred fruit. As he went deeper, Lin Feng suddenly realized that the distortion in the void was getting worse. Ordinary cultivators couldn't enter the depths of the chaotic world at all. Their bodies would be directly torn apart by the distorted void. The requirements for the physical body here were extremely high. The most shocking thing was that as he went deeper, Lin Feng realized that his magic power was gradually being restrained. This place was very strange. Not only did it have high requirements for the physical body, but it also restrained a cultivator's magic power. Places like this often appeared in extremely dangerous and hopeless places. Lin Feng didn't expect that this place was also a distorted space. Lin Feng frowned. The situation in the depths of the chaotic world was much more complicated than he had imagined. One day later, Lin Feng finally arrived at the depths of the chaotic world. He saw more than 10 figures, both male and female. However, because the chaotic chi covered the world, Lin Feng couldn't see them very clearly. To be able to come here, one's cultivation level was abnormally high. Their battle strength could be said to be heaven-defying. Everyone was here for the sacred fruit. In the depths of the chaotic world, there was a sacred tree that lingered in the chaos. The sacred tree emitted a faint sacred light. There were a few fruits on the tree, but there weren't many of them. Such sacred fruits were too extraordinary. Naturally, there couldn't be too many of them. When he saw the sacred fruits, Lin Feng couldn't help but take a deep breath. Those sacred fruits were very attractive. If he could get his hands on them, his cultivation might be able to increase by a few levels. The others were also eyeing the sacred fruits covetously. They wanted to use such heavenly treasures to increase their cultivation. What kind of sacred tree is this? Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter to himself. He looked at the holy tree. Previously, there were many rumors about the holy tree being covered. Some said that it was an ancient immortal tree, while others said that it was a demonic tree. In the end, it turned from a devil to a saint, and became a supreme sacred tree. There were all kinds of rumors in the outside world, and Lin Feng found it hard to determine which rumors were true. Now that he saw this sacred tree, he couldn't help but feel moved. Was this sacred tree related to chaos? Because there was primal chaos energy lingering in the surroundings, This place was very special and had an ancient aura. This ancient aura seemed to be able to trace back to the absolute beginning era. Lin Feng continued to head deeper. The deeper he went, the more difficult it became. This was because the laws of order here were very terrifying. They distorted space-time and imprisoned mana. It was not easy to resist the distorted space-time with just the strength of the physical body. The requirements for one's physical body were simply too high. At this moment, a loud roar came from the front. It was a cultivator with a head full of golden hair. His figure was very slender and handsome. It was unknown which race he was from. Now that he was in trouble, his body was already cracking. His roar attracted the attention of all the surrounding cultivators. He shouldn't be able to hold on much longer. Lin Feng couldn't help but raise his eyebrows slightly. At this moment, the cultivator was only 30 to 40 meters away from the holy tree. This was already very close. If it was outside, 30 to 40 meters would only take one step. But here, it was very difficult. However, the cultivator obviously didn't want to give up. He gritted his teeth and persevered, wanting to quickly get closer to the area. Crack, crack. The sound of his body cracking could be heard. The cracks on the cultivator's body were getting more and more severe. At this moment, a large amount of golden energy suddenly surged out of the cultivator's body. The golden energy enveloped his entire body. Under the protection of the golden energy, he temporarily resisted the tearing of the distorted space-time. However, the golden energy was very unstable and was constantly dispersing. The golden energy was very special and shouldn't be able to last for too long. Swoosh! Then, he increased his speed, wanting to rush to the holy tree and pluck the holy fruit as quickly as possible. Then, he quickly left. However, he had only rushed out a dozen meters when his body couldn't take it anymore. Bang! Along with a violent explosion, the sound of the explosion was heard. The cultivator's body directly exploded. The cultivator died tragically on the spot. His body was torn apart, leaving only broken limbs. Someone took the cultivator's storage ring, but then shook his head slightly. Then, he threw the cultivator's storage ring away. Obviously, the cultivator's storage ring should have been damaged as well. The things inside should have been destroyed by the collapsed space-time. Lin Feng looked at this scene with an indifferent expression. This was the fate of a cultivator. Defying the heavens and seizing life. Many people died in the process of defying the heavens and seizing life. No matter how powerful your talent was or how extraordinary your background was, the moment your life ended, everything would become history. Everything became a thing of the past, a thing of history. The others continued to walk towards the holy tree. Everyone's speed was very slow because the order laws here were too strong. If they wanted to move forward, it was almost impossible. Lin Feng increased his speed. His body was unparalleled in the world, comparable to the body of an emperor-level powerhouse. Now, Lin Feng's powerful body, coupled with the powerful recovery ability of the undying bloodline, made Lin Feng like a fish in water in this space. Although he was also greatly suppressed, compared to the others, it was much easier. Lin Feng. Someone looked at Lin Feng, who was gradually catching up, with a cold and murderous expression. The cultivator who spoke was shrouded in divine light. This was an extremely powerful young prodigy. This person was called the Battle of the Divine Path. It was rumored that this person had the body of the war god, a physique that was known for its powerful combat strength. He was a prodigy of the ancient god clan, and his status in the clan was far above Shin Daotian and the others. This was one of the 3 supreme prodigies of the younger generation of the ancient god clan. Since his debut, he had always been invincible and had never been defeated. Lin Feng had never seen a battle of the divine path. However, many people in the ancient god clan had seen Lin Feng before, so it was not difficult to know what Lin Feng looked like in a battle of the divine path. He's Lin Feng? Many people looked over in surprise, and then a cold light flashed in their eyes. The dozen or so experts were very young, and they were all top experts of the younger generation. However, these people were all top experts of the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other external forces. Apart from Lin Feng, there were no other cultivators of the 9 states. From this, it could be seen that the 9 states had been in decline for too many years. In terms of foundation, there was no way to compare with the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other external forces. Chapter 31:26. What? You want to join forces to deal with me? Lin Feng looked at them indifferently. This group of geniuses had heaven-defying strength, and some of them were even as strong as him. Moreover, with so many people joining forces, how terrifying would their destructive power be? Just thinking about it sent chills down one's spine. If they were outside, Lin Feng might really have a hard time fighting against these people. But now, they were in this distorted forbidden space. Here, magic power could not be used, and divine abilities could not be used. Lin Feng was naturally not afraid of these people joining forces. As long as we can kill you, it doesn't matter what method we use, the Divine Path warrior said indifferently. His killing intent was very strong, and deep greed flashed in his eyes. The combat strength of the Divine Path battle was definitely heaven-defying to an unimaginable extent. Now, there were naturally many reasons why the Divine Path battle wanted to kill Lin Feng. One of the most important reasons was that Lin Feng was rumored to have many powerful magic treasures and divine abilities. These things attracted the attention of countless people. Many people could not help but go crazy over them. The Divine Path battle naturally wanted to kill Lin Feng. When the time came, he would have a share of these things. Most of the others had the same goal. The main reason for killing Lin Feng was not because Lin Feng was an enemy of the myriad races, extraterritorial races, or other external forces. It was because Lin Feng had something that they desired. Lin Feng! It's a miracle that you're still alive! But now, it's all over! A cultivator with a muscular physique sneered. This was the Golden Saint Lion race's genius, Huan Yanmo. Back at 9 Beast Mountain, Lin Feng had seen this person before. Huan Yanmo was very terrifying. This race was one of the most powerful among the myriad races' royal families. Few races could be compared to this race. Moreover, this race was one of the top 10 royal families of the myriad races. Later, perhaps I'll beat you until you're looking for your teeth on the ground, Lin Feng said indifferently. His expression was very indifferent, revealing contempt and disdain. He was very arrogant. Even though he was surrounded by experts, he was still extremely calm, as if nothing had happened. Perhaps only Lin Feng had such a bearing. He was used to all kinds of storms and waves, and he had absolute confidence in himself. Huan Yanmo sneered and said, "Reckless thing, I will break all the bones in your body later." Huan Yanmo had a malevolent expression on his face. It was incomparably ugly. His face was shocking and extremely terrifying, causing people's hearts to palpitate. Among these prodigies, there were some extremely powerful characters. For example, Gongzi Chao of the Sky Devil race was much more famous than the Loki Gongzi Nia. He was relatively high profile and had just arrived in the 9 regions not long ago. Some time ago, when he heard that Gongzi Nia was injured, he once said in private that Gongzi Nia was just a trash. Not only was he injured in a barren land like the 9 regions, but he was also unable to kill Gongzi Yu for such a long time. There was a reason why Gongzi Chao dared to slander Gongzi Nia like this. One must know that Gongzi Nia was the son of the Sky Devil Emperor. Who would dare to offend him? For the Sky Devil race that had a strict hierarchy, no one dared to offend Gongzi Nia. Furthermore, Gongzi Nia's father was the current patriarch of the Sky Devil race, and his power was overwhelming. Ordinary Sky Devil Emperors might not even dare to offend Gongzi Nia, let alone the younger generation of Sky Devil race cultivators. This Sky Devil Chao didn't put Gongzi Nia in their eyes because Gongzi Chao's origin was equally shocking. Gongzi Chao's ancestor Xian was an illustrious ancestor-level existence in the Sky Devil race. It was said that he was one of the core members of the Sky Devil race's Supreme Elder Group. The Sky Devil race was extremely large in the Outer Realm, For example, many outer realm planets had branches of the Sky Devil race. Even the heavenly sage Great World and the nest of the myriad races had branches of the Sky Devil race. These Sky Devil race were nominally managed by the Patriarch. But in reality, the Sky Devil race had also set up a Supreme Elder Group. The members of the Supreme Elder Group were either the old Patriarch of the Sky Devil race who had already abdicated, or they were experts with extremely terrifying strength in the Sky Devil race. And the Supreme Elder Group even had the power to dismiss the Patriarch. That was why he had such a backer. Gongzi Chao naturally didn't fear Gongzi Nie. Aside from Gongzi Chao, there were other top prodigies such as Shui Yunshin of the blood-winged sky wolves, Yi Tongtian of the eight-winged demon race, Song Qingjue of the nine-eyed jade toad race, and so on. They were all extremely powerful and had terrifying combat strength. Let's do it. Don't delay any longer. This brat is full of tricks. If we delay any longer, I'm afraid something else will happen, an outer realm cultivator said. This was a female cultivator, and she was extremely tall. Most women were around 1.7 meters tall, and that was already considered extremely tall. However, this woman's height was actually around 1.8 meters. She was much taller than the average male. This woman had a pair of straight and slender jade-like legs. Her face was so delicate that it could be broken by the wind. She could be called absolutely beautiful, but her expression was cold and arrogant. She was from the immortal god race. The immortal god race was one of the 10 sovereign races of the myriad races, and also one of the 3 divine races of the myriad races. Among the myriad races, there were dozens of races with divine blood flowing in their veins. These races with divine blood were basically the descendants of innate life forms. These races were very powerful. As time passed, some races gradually declined, while others remained powerful. Among the many divine races, the 3 most powerful ones were the sacred god race, the ancient god race, and the immortal god race. Lin Feng had come into contact with cultivators from the sacred god race and the ancient god race before, but he had never come into contact with cultivators from the immortal god race. This woman was the first cultivator from the immortal god race that Lin Feng had come into contact with. This female cultivator from the immortal god race was called Xian Lengan. She was just like her name. This woman's temperament was very cold. She looked at Lin Feng indifferently. She was preparing a powerful attack to kill Lin Feng. Attack! Xian Lengan's suggestion was quickly unanimously agreed by the others. Everyone attacked one after another, attacking Lin Feng. Although their dermic powers were sealed, every one of them was proficient in martial arts moves. They could all be called martial arts grandmasters. Moreover, these cultivators from the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces had extremely strong physical bodies. With so many people working together, even if they didn't use their dermic powers, they believed that with their martial arts moves and strong physical bodies, they could successfully kill Lin Feng. Giant Ping spreads wings, wind sends purple clouds, swallow returns to morning sun, rising sun. Golden goose takes flight, bright star in the evening moon, illusory eye cloud, azure dragon coils ridge, white rainbow pierces the sun, cloud breaks Qinling mountain, green pine emerald, earth-shattering shock, 1,000 kilograms falls. Diamond tail. Chapter 31:27. With so many experts attacking at the same time, it was extremely terrifying. Although this was only a martial art move, it was also extremely powerful and could produce extremely powerful killing power. The reason for that was because any one of these people could easily shatter a towering mountain with a single punch. This was the terrifying part of these people. They were so tyrannical that it made people turn pale with fright. Facing the siege of so many experts, Lin Feng was still extremely calm. He also displayed a powerful absolute art. The absolute art that Lin Feng displayed was a very profound martial art among the martial arts moves. His spine was bent like a dragon's body. His spine was like a dragon. That was to say, Lin Feng was now His spine suddenly sprung up. It was as if he could erupt with a terrifying power that could destroy heaven and earth. Lin Feng's body shot out. His speed was too fast, and he instantly rushed in front of the three cultivators. Although Lin Feng made his move later, he arrived first. Courting death. The three cultivators who were locked onto by Lin Feng looked indifferent. Their powerful moves continued to bombard Lin Feng, while the rest of the people's moves also bombarded Lin Feng together. Bang, bang, bang. At this moment, Lin Feng collided with the three cultivators, accompanied by the sound of violent collisions. The three cultivators were directly swept away by Lin Feng, and Lin Feng also quickly swept out of the encirclement of more than a dozen people. The attacks of the other cultivators all missed. Lin Feng then, like an eagle soaring into the sky, he quickly swept towards a cultivator who was repelled. 5 times dragon elephant arm erupted. In fact, Lin Feng's dragon elephant arm was already powerful enough. But now, Lin Feng was heavily surrounded. To be on the safe side, Lin Feng then displayed 5 times dragon elephant arm. This was Lin Feng's strongest state. When the 5 times dragon elephant arm was displayed, one punch seemed to be able to shatter heaven and earth. The power of that punch. It was so powerful that it was unimaginable. Its might was so great that it was truly shocking. You! The expression of the sky pride that Lin Feng had locked onto changed abruptly. This was a sky pride from the great Tao source world. His name was Wang Hunzhong, and he possessed formidable combat strength. However, after his magic power was sealed, he could only contend with Lin Feng with his physical body. He wanted to quickly dodge Lin Feng's terrifying punch, but he couldn't. Therefore, he could only face Lin Feng head-on. Bang! The fists of both sides collided. Cracking sounds could be heard. Wang Hunzhong's arm was directly broken. Next, Lin Feng's terrifying punch directly landed on Wang Hunzhong's chest. The sound of bones cracking could be heard. Wang Hunzhong's chest caved in. Wang Hunzhong's body couldn't help but fly backwards. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent as he rushed over and grabbed Wang Hunzhong's head. Then, he suddenly twisted it. Cracking sounds could be heard. Wang Hunzhong's head was directly plucked off. Puff! Fresh blood spurted out, and Wang Hunzhong died tragically on the spot. In the blink of an eye, an expert was killed by Lin Feng. The rest of the people's expressions became extremely ugly, each more gloomy than the last. Lin Feng threw Wang Hunzhong's head on the ground, and then said indifferently, "What kind of supreme sky pride are you? In front of me, you're just like an ant or a dog. I can kill you with a wave of my hand." Lin Feng's words could be said to be incomparably arrogant. Extremely arrogant. If it were someone else, who would dare to say such arrogant words? However, Lin Feng dared to say such arrogant words. This was based on absolute confidence. This was because Lin Feng's physical body was too powerful. It could be described as heaven-defying. Such a powerful physical body was enough to sweep away these cultivators. This guy's speed is very fast, and his physical body is very strong. Moreover, his strength seems to be extremely terrifying. Everyone be careful, Shin Daozhan said with a gloomy expression. With the example of Wang Hunzhong being killed by Lin Feng, the rest of the people naturally did not dare to underestimate Lin Feng anymore. Setting sun shines on snow. Light flash. Wind and frost broken shadow. Stone smoke. Thunder in the vast sky. Ice Valley's first rainbow. Mountain twists and turns. Open mine. Double dragon fetches water, searching for snake in the grass. Without a trace in the snow, dragon soars for thousands of miles. Then these people once again displayed extremely powerful martial arts moves to attack Lin Feng. This time, they increased their speed to the extreme. Although they did not form an encirclement around Lin Feng, everyone had already locked onto Lin Feng. Moreover, everyone's moves were incomparably terrifying. Their fists shook the world and shattered the void. The attacks of more than a dozen people were really too powerful. Now, these people's attacks were even more powerful than before. Because they did not want to become the second Wang Hunzhong. Today, I'll let you have a taste of my power. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. Lin Feng jumped forwards and threw a punch at those cultivators. Lin Feng was using a punch called the Godly 100 Transformations Punch. A powerful cultivator like Lin Feng not only cultivated magical powers, but also had a deep understanding of many martial arts moves. Moreover, because of Lin Feng's strong physical body, he especially liked to fight in close combat. And when fighting in close combat, it was inevitable that some powerful martial arts moves would be used to enhance the combat effectiveness of close combat. Therefore, Lin Feng collected a lot of powerful martial arts moves. 100 Transformation Fist was one of the most powerful martial arts moves. Once it was displayed, it was really peerless and terrifying. Lin Feng stepped forward and punched out. Suddenly, there were many fist shadows. The most powerful part of this 100 Transformation Fist was that it formed 100 fist shadows. If it was just a simple fist shadow, it would naturally be difficult to hurt others. The 100 fist shadows released by this 100 Transformation Fist were not simple fist shadows. Each of his punches contained 90% of Lin Feng's strength. What kind of terrifying power was this? It was simply unimaginable. If Lin Feng displayed 5 times the dragon elephant arm, then the 100 fist shadows condensed by Lin Feng's 100 Transformation Fist. Every fist shadow. They all had 90% of Lin Feng's strength. How powerful would 100 fists be? Under normal circumstances, Lin Feng was not willing to use this fist technique. The more powerful the divine ability, the more mana it would consume. The same principle. The more powerful the martial arts move, the more physical strength it would consume. When one's physical strength was exhausted, it would be dangerous. The 100 Transformation Fist consumed a lot of physical strength. However, in order to deal with these dozen or so powerful Heaven's Prides, Lin Feng displayed the 100 Transformation Fist. Although Lin Feng believed that he could defeat these people. However, Lin Feng did not want to delay, he wanted to end the battle quickly. If he continued to delay, he didn't know what would happen next. Bang, 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 the dense fist shadows directly smashed towards the dozen or so Heaven's Prides that were charging towards him. Chapter 31-28. Originally, more than 10 people were besieging Lin Feng. Lin Feng was facing so many experts alone and was at an absolute disadvantage in terms of numbers. However, after he used the 100 Transformations Divine Fist, he immediately turned his disadvantage into an advantage. Now, every cultivator who was besieging Lin Feng had to withstand at least 7 or 8 fist shadows. At first, they could still resist for a while. But soon, these cultivators began to be unable to withstand the attacks of those fist shadows. Kacha 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 sounds could be heard. The sound of bones cracking was accompanied by painful groans. One cultivator after another was sent flying by Lin Feng. Ouch! Many people vomited blood and their faces were as pale as paper. The power of Lin Feng's attack just now was too tyrannical. That was because the power of the arm of the dragon elephant was too terrifying. 90% of the power of the arm of the dragon elephant was still an unimaginably terrifying force. Once it erupted, it would be extremely terrifying. Moreover, each of these people was not facing one punch, but 7 or 8 fist shadows. Although they were all top-notch geniuses with monstrous dermic powers and remarkable abilities. However, there was still a huge gap between them and Lin Feng in terms of physical strength. It was inevitable that they would be injured by Lin Feng one by one. This is impossible! The faces of the geniuses were filled with ferocious expressions. So many of them were besieging Lin Feng, but they were still beaten to the point of vomiting blood by Lin Feng. This was unacceptable to them. Everyone was extremely depressed, and their expressions were extremely gloomy. Their eyes were also flickering with dense killing intent. Said Lin Feng indifferently. Why wouldn't it be possible? Today, I will kill all of you and make this place your burial ground. As soon as he said that, Lin Feng continued to use the 100 Transformations Divine Fist. Swoosh! Fist shadows were everywhere. One after another, fist silhouettes blasted towards the surrounding cultivators. More than a dozen top geniuses of the myriad races, the extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces were all enveloped by Lin Feng's fist shadows. Each and every one of them could not withstand Lin Feng's terrifying attacks. Wow! These cultivators were once again sent flying. Each of them coughed out mouthfuls of blood and their faces were as pale as paper. In the battle of the divine path, Huan Yanma and the others couldn't help but roar in anger. But now, he couldn't circulate his magic power, so he couldn't use his divine ability. In the battle of physical strength, they were completely suppressed, unable to contend with Lin Feng's physical body. Each and every one of them felt extremely aggrieved. It was as if he had gone mad with hatred. Everyone wanted to hack Lin Feng into pieces. But in reality, their current situation was very dangerous. Lin Feng was an existence that was invincible in close combat. Thus, for these cultivators to engage in close combat with Lin Feng, they were simply throwing their lives away. When Lin Feng launched the third wave of attacks, bang, bang, bang! Sounds of explosions were heard one after another. One by one, Lin Feng killed the top geniuses. In the third wave of attacks, Lin Feng killed 4 top prodigies. These people were the most powerful geniuses of the myriad races, extraterritorial races, and other external forces. Any one of them would be able to defeat countless experts, and even compete with great emperor-level experts. Such a prodigy was rare even among the 3 forces. Every death of one was a great loss. But now, 5 of them had been killed by Lin Feng. Previously, Lu Tong and the others killed almost 1/3 of the top geniuses of the 3 forces. Today, I'll kill all of you again. The number of top geniuses of the 3 forces will decrease again. Sooner or later, I'll kill the top experts of the 3 forces until they tremble in fear. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He continued to use the 100 transformation fists to attack the remaining cultivators. Bang, bang, bang! Violent collisions were heard as the 2 sides engaged in a great battle again. The sound of bones cracking could be heard. This time, another 3 top geniuses were killed by Lin Feng. The rest were all severely injured and vomiting blood from Lin Feng's attacks. Those who died with their eyes wide open. Their combat strength was so strong, but because they were in the forbidden space, they couldn't use their divine abilities. That was why they died tragically in Lin Feng's hands. If they could use their divine abilities, they believed that with the strength of so many people, they would be able to kill Lin Feng. Lin Feng had already lost count of how many times he had been killed. But there weren't so many ifs in this world. Lin Feng was like an unparalleled god fiend, making every cultivator feel a deep sense of despair. Lin Feng, are you really going to kill us all? When the time comes, the myriad races, extraterritorial races, and the experts of the various great worlds will join forces to suppress you. When that time comes, you'll die without a grave. An extraterritorial race cultivator said with an extremely ugly expression, wanting to scare Lin Feng away. But Lin Feng wasn't moved at all. He said indifferently, "We're already at an irreconcilable state. Do you think yours truly would be afraid of the myriad races, extraterritorial races, and the great emperors of the various great worlds? If they really come, I'll kill them all together." Humph, what an arrogant tone! Just then, a cold voice rang out. Following that, 3 cultivators stepped into the depths of the distorted space. When they saw those 3 cultivators, the eyes of the last few top geniuses, who were on the verge of despair, lit up. Those who had arrived were 3 great emperors. Furthermore, they were extremely strong great emperors. The great emperor who spoke had a muscular build. He was a powerful being from the Golden Saint Lion race. This person was called Huang Bahen. He was a terrifying emperor realm expert. He was also one of the top 10 experts of the Golden Saint Lion race. The second powerful being was a skinny old man. He was a powerful being from the myriad races Een Corpse race. It was said that the Een Corpse race dealt with corpses all year round. They were skilled in refining corpse poison and other such things. Their methods were strange and terrifying. This powerful being was called Old Man Een Mo. He was also an Emperor realm expert. The third powerful being was a voluptuous female cultivator. She looked to be in her 30s. Purely based on her appearance and figure, she could be considered a top-grade beauty. However, it was clear that this female cultivator was no simple character. This female cultivator was a powerful being from the sacred god race. Her name was Xingqiru. He was also an Imperial Emperor realm expert. 3 great Emperor realm experts have arrived together. We're saved. The few remaining geniuses exclaimed in surprise. Lin Feng, let's see how you'll die later. Following that, their gazes towards Lin Feng were filled with killing intent. In their eyes, Lin Feng was definitely going to die this time. Great emperors at the Emperor realm were extremely rare. They could already be considered as overlords of the universe. This was Lin Feng's first time coming into contact with great emperors of this level. And this was his first time coming into contact with great emperors of this level. To think that he would encounter 3 of them. Chapter 31-29. Lin Feng's attention was focused on the 3 great imperial emperors, so he didn't have time to pay attention to the divine Dao battle, Huan Yanmao, and the others. If it wasn't for the arrival of the 3 great imperial emperors, Huan Yanmao and the others would have died today. Although I don't want to admit it, I have to admit that with your talent, you can be considered one of the top geniuses among the younger generation of all the major races in the universe. It would be a pity to kill a genius like you. How about this? If you swear to become our slave, we will spare your life today. What do you think? At this moment, Xingqiru couldn't help but say. Not only was Xingqiru powerful, but she was also of noble birth. She was an expert of the sacred god clan. How could the number 1 clan of the myriad races be undeserved? This clan had powerful physical bodies and shocking bloodlines. Although Xingqiru was a woman, she was able to cultivate to the Imperial Emperor realm. From this, one could see how extraordinary her talent was. Lin Feng's current cultivation was comparable to some God Emperor realm cultivators. However, the difference between him and these Imperial Emperor realm experts was huge. Although Lin Feng was extremely confident in his combat strength, he also knew his own limits. However, this place wasn't the outside world. This was a forbidden space. When one's magic power was restricted, not to mention that these people were only Emperor realm cultivators. So what if they were immortals? When one's magic power was restricted, they could only rely on their physical bodies to fight. Therefore, although Lin Feng was wary of the 3 Imperial Emperor realm experts, he wasn't afraid of them. Now, Lin Feng even had a crazy idea. Should he try to kill these 3 Imperial Emperor realm experts? If he could do that, it would be heaven-defying. Of course, Lin Feng also knew that killing these Imperial Emperor realm experts was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. However, if he didn't try, how would he know that he couldn't do it? Lin Feng looked indifferently at Xingqiru and said, "Looking at your figure and appearance, you're not bad. If you announce that you're my slave today, I'll spare your life." When Lin Feng said this, the surroundings instantly became silent. Everyone looked at Lin Feng with astonishment. No one would have thought that Lin Feng would actually say such words to an imperial emperor. This could no longer be described as audacious. Xingqiru's beautiful eyes turned cold. "You haven't even broken through to the great emperor realm, yet you dare to be so impudent. Don't you know how to write the word death? I'll kill you today!" As soon as she finished speaking, Xingqiru had already rushed towards Lin Feng. She used the mountain-splitting palm technique and slammed it towards Lin Feng. At the same time, the other 2 imperial emperors, Huang Bashan and Old Man Inemo, also flew towards Lin Feng. Huang Bashan punched towards Lin Feng. The fist technique he used was called the Wind Thunder Fist. A punch was thrown and a thunderous sound was heard. At the same time, it was accompanied by a violent hurricane that swept towards Lin Feng. This was a martial art technique, but it displayed such a terrifying phenomenon. This was because Huang Bashan, who used this martial art technique, was simply too powerful. As for Old Man Inemo, he slammed his palm towards Lin Feng. Old Man In Mo's palm turned as black as ink. Old Man In Mo's technique was called the Black Devil Palm. It was said that it could unleash 36 layers of hidden force. Its power was extremely terrifying. 3 great imperial emperors are fighting against him. No matter how strong Lin Feng's physical body is, he can't compete with 3 great imperial emperors, right? That's absolutely impossible. Just wait and see. Lin Feng will definitely die later. The surviving divine Dao battle, Huan Yanma, and the others said coldly. In their eyes, the current Lin Feng was no different from a dead man. Facing the attacks of 3 imperial emperors, Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. In the previous battle with more than 10 top prodigies, Lin Feng had continuously used the 5-fold dragon elephant arm and 100 transformation fist. The consumption was extremely great. Therefore, Lin Feng was now very far away from his peak combat strength. The destructive power of the 5-fold dragon elephant arm had also decreased greatly. It was far from being comparable to his previous peak. If it wasn't for the decrease in his combat strength, Lin Feng wouldn't be afraid of these 3 people. Flood Dragon goes to the sea! Lin Feng couldn't help but let out a low shout. He also used an extremely powerful martial art technique. His spine curved like a dragon, and then he instantly unleashed a terrifying power. Then, his spine drove his entire body, and he consecutively threw out 3 powerful punches. Boom! 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 The 3 punches immediately produced an earth-shattering sound. It was like the sound of war drums. The world seemed to be about to collapse. Lin Feng was fighting 1 against 3. Even though his combat strength had decreased greatly, he would definitely not retreat half a step. Bang! 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 3 consecutive violent collisions were heard. It was as if the earth was shaking. It was as if one ancient mountain after another had crashed into each other. That kind of power. It was so terrifying that it made one's face pale with fright. Deng! Deng! Lin Feng and the 3 imperial emperors took 3 steps back. How is this possible? Huan Yanma, Xian Lengan, and the others who were watching the battle of the divine path revealed expressions of disbelief. Lin Feng had just fought with them for so long, although many experts on their side had been killed by Lin Feng. But a continuous battle. It would definitely cause Lin Feng's combat strength to decrease greatly. Then, in other words, the current Lin Feng's combat strength was far from his peak. In such a state, Lin Feng was actually on par with the 3 imperial emperors. This made them feel as if they were in a dream. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. It was too unbelievable. It was too shocking. But all of this, it was all real. Your physical body is actually so terrifyingly strong. Although your strength is greatly weakened, you are still able to resist the attacks of the 3 of us. How strong were you when you were at your peak? Xingqiu looked at Lin Feng in disbelief. In her long life, Xingqiu had seen countless talented people. Many of these geniuses left her astonished. However, Xingqiu had never seen a human cultivator with such a terrifying physical body and strength like Lin Feng. This was because human cultivators were a race with weak physical bodies and strength. But now, Lin Feng had cultivated the weakness of the human race into his advantage. This was too terrifying. The human race's comprehension ability was the strongest among the many races. Lin Feng's physical body was so terrifying. If he continued to grow, what level would he become? Chapter 31:30. Just like Xingqiu, the other 2 imperial emperors couldn't help but reveal deep shock on their faces. Whether it was Huang Bashan or Old Man Mo, their lifespans were extremely long. However, in their long lifespans, they had never seen a young cultivator with such a terrifying physical body like Lin Feng. It was really unbelievable. Therefore, the 2 of them knew that they had to kill Lin Feng. Otherwise, he would definitely be a huge threat in the future. Attack with all your might and kill this kid! Huang Bashan said with a cold expression. He decided not to hold back anymore. If he could kill Lin Feng, he would get rid of a huge threat. Boom! The three Imperial Emperors attacked again. Each of them wanted to kill Lin Feng, so they used their most powerful martial arts moves. Boneless Soft Technique. Xingqiru was the first to attack. Her body soared into the air and flew over as fast as lightning. Her body became extremely soft and could bend at will. She quickly wrapped around Lin Feng. This boneless soft technique was one of the top martial arts moves. The boneless soft technique was very unique. Once it was used, the body of the cultivator who used the boneless soft technique would become extremely soft. At that time, this soft body would be able to wrap around the body of the person being attacked. Once the body of the person being attacked was wrapped, it would not be easy for him to struggle free. As your dragon leaves the water, Huang Bashan made his move and leaped up. His huge body seemed to have transformed into a dragon's body. That terrifying power. It was really shocking. Soul reaping! At the same time, Old Man Inmo made his move. This soul reaping was an extremely strange martial art move. A dark green color appeared in Old Man Inmo's hand. That dark green color. It contained a terrifying poison. A terrifying existence like Old Man Inmo was good at refining poison. When he fought against enemies, he also liked to secretly use poison. It could be said to be extremely sinister. Now, Old Man Inmo used poison to invade Lin Feng's body. Once Lin Feng was poisoned, when the time came, he would probably not be able to escape. 100 Transformation Divine Fist! Lin Feng's expression was indifferent as he used this powerful ultimate skill. Swoosh! Fist shadows appeared one after another. The dense fist shadows flew towards the three Imperial Emperors. Originally, the three of them wanted to quickly approach Lin Feng. Old Man Inmo even wanted to use poison to deal with Lin Feng. But now, it was too late to face Lin Feng's 100 Transformations Fist's attack. The 100 Transformations Godly Fist was too powerful. Its power was so strong that it was shocking. Bang! Huang Bashan and Old Man Inmo couldn't help but roar in anger. Their fists shook the void and swept towards the descending fist shadows. Xing's boneless soft technique. When the fist's body SS, Xing's feel, S's become extremely softs become soft's body. This was the wonder of the boneless contortion technique. It was rumored that the boneless contortion technique was created by a martial arts grandmaster based on the movements of a very agile snake when it dodged attacks. The body of a snake was extremely soft. And it was extremely slippery. The attack strength would be easily dissipated. This boneless soft technique was only suitable for women with especially soft bodies to cultivate. Male cultivators were unable to cultivate this kind of martial art. Xingqiru had already cultivated this boneless soft technique to the point where it was as pure as fire. The fist shadows were all neutralized by Xingqiru. Then, Xingqiru quickly rushed to Lin Feng's side. Her body, which had become extremely soft, directly wrapped around Lin Feng. Right now, Xingqiru only had one thought, and that was to wrap around Lin Feng's body. She would restrict Lin Feng's movements. At that time, Huang Bashan and Old Man Inmo would rush up together and instantly kill Lin Feng. Seeing Xingqiru quickly approaching him, Lin Feng once again attacked Xingqiru. However, Xingqiru's dodging speed was simply too fast. Lin Feng's fists landed on Xingqiru's body, but it was as if they had hit water. All of the force was instantly neutralized. This caused Lin Feng to be extremely shocked. Xingqiru's methods were really too extraordinary. At this moment, Xingqiru's body, which had become extremely soft, had already wrapped around Lin Feng's body. Her hands directly pierced towards Lin Feng's eyes. She actually wanted to stab Lin Feng's eyes blind. A woman's heart was the most poisonous. This sentence was indeed correct. Poisonous woman! Lin Feng looked at Xingqiru with an indifferent expression and grabbed towards Xingqiru's neck. Xingqiru's speed was very fast. Lin Feng's speed was even faster than Xingqiru's. Crack! Lin Feng directly grabbed Xingqiru's neck. Xingqiru's expression changed drastically. The hands that were originally stabbing towards Lin Feng's eyes quickly stabbed towards Lin Feng's neck. The neck was one of the fatal points of a cultivator, because this place was where the main arteries of the human body were located. Once the main arteries were torn, then the cultivator would only have a path of death. Lin Feng's expression also changed abruptly. He originally wanted to break Xingchuru's neck, but he discovered that her neck had also become extremely soft. It was impossible to break it at all. Lin Feng raised his left hand and slapped Xingchuru's chest. Such a powerful force, such a close distance, Xingchuru was also unable to completely dissolve Lin Feng's palm. Crack! Crack! Accompanied by the sound of bones cracking, Xingchuru was sent flying by Lin Feng. Moreover, the bones in her chest were directly broken. Wah! Xingchuru couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. This. After seeing this scene, Huan Yanhua, Xian Lengan, and the others in the Divine Dao battle were somewhat incoherent. They had heard that Lin Feng's physical body was powerful, but they didn't expect that Lin Feng's physical body was terrifying to such an extent. 3 great imperial emperors working together were still unable to defeat Lin Feng. Everything that happened in front of them was simply like a dream. 100 Transformation Divine Fist! Kill! 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 Lin Feng roared. He attacked the 2 imperial emperors with all his might. Right now, Lin Feng's consumption was extremely great, so he couldn't have any intention of retreating now. He had to defeat the 3 imperial emperors in one go. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to raise his voice again. At that time, he would definitely be defeated by the 3 imperial emperors. Lin Feng naturally didn't want to be defeated by the 3 imperial emperors. It was as if he had transformed into an unparalleled God fiend. The 100 Transformation Divine Fist punched out fist shadows that filled the sky. Bang! 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 A series of collision sounds rang out. Although Huang Badshan and Old Man Yin-Mo were powerful, under Lin Feng's crazy attacks, they gradually couldn't hold on. Kacha sounds of bones cracking could be heard. Huang Badshan and Old Man Yin-Mo were sent flying. Their faces were as pale as paper. Who knew how many bones in their bodies were broken? Chapter 31. All of you die! Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He was still attacking crazily. The 100 Transformation Divine Fist punched towards the 3 Emperor Realm experts one after another. At the same time, it enveloped the Divine Path, Huan Yanhua, Xian Lengan, and the others. In fact, Lin Feng was already exhausted. But Lin Feng knew that he couldn't show any signs of fatigue. Because once he did, he would show signs of fatigue. If these people delayed for a while longer, he would be exhausted. At that time, he would definitely die. Right now, Lin Feng was squeezing out his body to stimulate his potential. Most of the time, people were forced out. Unless they were in a desperate situation. They couldn't force out even more potential. Lin Feng was still attacking crazily even though he was exhausted. He was forcing himself to look as brave as a tiger. At this moment, Lin Feng felt his body start to heat up. He felt that the fatigue in his body had actually eased a lot. This meant that, under such a deep stimulation, Lin Feng's potential, it was stimulated once again. Let's go! The 3 Emperor Realm experts shouted with incomparably gloomy expressions. Initially, they had thought that Lin Feng had used up a lot of energy, and was about to run out of energy. Therefore, the 3 Emperor Realm experts wanted to delay for a while longer. Until Lin Feng showed signs of exhaustion. Kill Lin Feng in one fell swoop. But, now that they saw that Lin Feng's attacks were still so fierce, the 3 Emperor Realm experts didn't have any confidence. They didn't want to continue fighting with Lin Feng like this. It was very likely that they would lose their lives here. They knew very well how difficult it was to cultivate to the Emperor Realm. Only they knew how much hardship they had suffered in order to cultivate to this realm. Therefore, the 3 Emperor Realm experts were people who cherished their lives. Therefore, they made plans to evacuate this place. Of course, the 3 Emperor Realm experts planned to guard outside. As long as Lin Feng came out? At that time, it would be a thunderous attack. The 3 Emperor Realm experts who had left the forbidden space naturally wouldn't be afraid of Lin Feng. In the Divine Dao battle, Huan Yanma, Xian Lengen, and the others didn't dare to linger. Including the 3 great monarchs, the group of people quickly escaped. Lin Feng had single-handedly killed so many top-notch geniuses. He had even scared off 3 great emperors and several other top-notch geniuses. If news of this battle were to spread, it would definitely alarm the 9 prefectures. Huff huff huff. After the 3 great monarchs, Divine Dao battle, and the others left, Lin Feng began to pant heavily. A deep sense of fatigue engulfed his entire body. If not for the fact that his potential had been stimulated once again, Lin Feng might have been exhausted to the point of collapse. Now, although Lin Feng felt extremely tired and powerless, he was not exhausted to the point of collapsing. Ha ha! Lin Feng couldn't help but laugh. After scaring off the 3 sovereign emperors and the others, the holy fruits would all be his. Lin Feng walked towards the holy tree and finally arrived in front of it. There were a total of 5 fruits on the sacred tree. Now, the fruits had ripened. They emitted an enticing fruity smell. The sacred tree was extraordinary, and the sacred fruits were even more so. Lin Feng plucked all 5 sacred fruits. Then, he kept them in the mountain river ring. Next, Lin Feng began to examine the sacred tree. Lin Feng wondered if he could dig out the sacred tree and plant it in the mountain river ring. He took out a shovel and began to dig. However, the sacred tree directly shot up into the sky and tore through the void, trying to escape. Lin Feng was shocked. The power of the order laws in this distorted space was extremely strong. Cultivators would find it difficult to even use their magic power, let alone tear through the space here. However, the sacred tree could easily tear through the space here. It was truly shocking. Seeing the sacred tree trying to escape, Lin Feng grabbed the sacred tree's roots. Then, Lin Feng was brought along by the sacred tree and disappeared from this space. F***CK! Stop it! Angry shouts could be heard from the dense ancient forest from time to time. The person who was shouting was Lin Feng. Pa pa pa, the branches of the sacred tree continuously whipped towards Lin Feng. These branches were very terrifying. They were like powerful whips as they whipped Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng was covered with cuts and bruises. Right now, Lin Feng really wanted to cry but had no tears. Pa pa pa, the sacred tree clearly had a spirit. It continued to provoke Lin Feng with a new round of attacks. The power of the sacred tree's branches was too shocking. They continued to whip Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng grimaced in pain. The sacred tree's attacks were not ordinary physical attacks. There was a terrifying power contained within the sacred tree, and when the branches whipped out, Yi Zichen was shocked. This terrifying power would also surge out at the same time. Then, it would cause serious damage to the person who was hit. I'll seal! Lin Feng endured the pain. He was determined to seal the sacred tree and then plant it in the mountain river ring. However, Lin Feng tried to use various methods to seal the sacred tree. In the end, it all ended in failure. This made Lin Feng incomparably depressed. In the end, the sacred tree sent Lin Feng flying. Then, it quickly disappeared into the dense forest. Lin Feng helplessly smiled bitterly. Then, he lay in the forest and gasped for breath. A slight rustling sound could be heard. A black python that was more than 10 meters long was lurking towards Lin Feng. This was a demon python. It was very terrifying. It was very good at sneak attacking prey. When it was more than 20 meters away from Lin Feng, the demon python directly jumped out and pounced towards Lin Feng. It opened its bloody mouth and directly swallowed Lin Feng. It wanted to swallow Lin Feng in one gulp. Facing the demon python's attack, Lin Feng's reaction was extremely fast. A sword she slashed out. Poochie. Blood splattered. The demon python's head soared into the sky. This demon python was killed by Lin Feng. Then, Lin Feng kept the demon python into the mountain river ring. The demon python was very nutritious. It could be cooked into a delicacy to nourish his body. Lin Feng quickly left the place, found a quieter place, and then started a bonfire. Lin Feng made a barbecue and a snake soup. Then, he made a dragon and tiger fight. The dragon and tiger fight was cooked with demon python meat and tiger meat. It looked, smelled, and was definitely a delicacy. Just as Lin Feng was about to enjoy the delicacies, his gaze looked towards the forest on the left. He vaguely felt that something was hibernating there, and that existence was looking at him. Come out! Lin Feng's sword sheath swept over. Ah, it hurts, you bastard, you dare to sneak attack me, Long Outyen, Long Outyen, will tear you to pieces! Chapter 31-32. It's you? Lin Feng looked at the golden Eastern Divine Dragon in astonishment. This fellow had just broken free from the stone orb. Lin Feng had almost died in the hands of this fellow. Who would have thought that a mysterious woman of unknown origin would appear in the demonic orb? She was so strong and terrifying. She had devoured the origin energy of this Eastern Divine Dragon completely. This Eastern Divine Dragon's strength had decreased tremendously. His body had shrunk to about a meter long, looking like a golden snake. He no longer had the majesty of the Eastern Divine Dragon tribe. That's right. It's the wise and mighty Master Long Outyen. Today, I've decided to take you in as my human pet. Long Outyen could not help but shout. He glared at Lin Feng fiercely. That guy probably hated Lin Feng because of what had happened in the past. Now that Long Outyen did not have much combat strength left, so what if he was from the Eastern Divine Dragon tribe? Lin Feng was not afraid of this fellow at all. He pursed his lips and said, You want to deal with me with that little strength of yours? You couldn't even deal with me when you were released, let alone now. Now scram as far as you can. Otherwise, believe it or not, there will be a fried Eastern Divine Dragon delicacy on yours truly's table today. Long Outyen began to curse. Originally, I, Long Outyen, thought that I was already good at bragging. Who would have thought that I would pale in comparison to you? Back then I, Long Outyen, could have killed you with a single claw. If it weren't for the woman in the demonic orb, do you think you would have survived until now? How dare you say that Master Long Outyen couldn't even deal with you when I was released? You can't be so shameless, Lin Feng said calmly. I'm the master of the demonic orb. Everything in the demonic orb belongs to me. Including that woman. She belongs to me. Shameless people are invincible. I've never seen someone as shameless as you. Long Outyen looked at Lin Feng with disdain. You're the shameless one. Your whole family is shameless, Lin Feng retorted. Kid, be a good boy and be my human pet, shouted Long Ao Tian furiously. He threw himself at Lin Feng. The divine dragon swings its tail. Next, Long Ao Tian's tail whipped towards Lin Feng. This guy seemed to have recovered some of his strength recently. That was why he dared to seek revenge on Lin Feng. Since you want to die, I'll blow you up today. Lin Feng couldn't help but snort. Immediately after, he threw a punch at Long Ao Tian. Bam! The two sides collided fiercely. Long Ao Tian was extremely powerful. After all, he was the Eastern Dragon God. The physical body of the Dragon clan was the strongest among all the clans. Moreover, the Eastern Divine Dragon was a top-notch existence within the Dragon tribe. Therefore, it was obvious how strong Long Ao Tian's physical body was. However, when Long Ao Tian and Lin Feng collided, Long Ao Tian was sent flying by Lin Feng. Ah, my tail! My tail is about to be broken! You little bastard! How can you be so strong? Long Ao Tian immediately started cursing out loud. Your mouth stinks! Take another punch from me! Lin Feng snorted and continued to step forward. He threw a punch at Long Ao Tian. Divine Dragon Claw! Long Ao Tian roared and stretched out his dragon claw. He wanted to block Lin Feng's attack. The two sides collided again. However, this time, Long Ao Tian still couldn't fight against Lin Feng. Long Ao Tian was sent flying by Lin Feng again. I'll be back soon. After being sent flying by Lin Feng for the second time, Long Aotian wanted to escape. This guy was obviously not convinced. Before he left, he didn't forget to threaten Lin Feng. You can't escape. Lin Feng snorted and quickly chased after Long Aotian. He then used the black tortoise hunchback tablet painting to suppress Long Aotian. Long Aotian had lost his magic power. He couldn't fight against Lin Feng's divine ability. He was suppressed in midair. Let me go! Let me go! You bastard! If my origin energy hadn't been devoured by that woman, do you think you can jump around in front of me? If you dared to jump around, Long Aotian would have smashed you into a pile of meat paste. Long Aotian couldn't help but roar in anger. He was extremely dissatisfied after being suppressed by Lin Feng. Lin Feng said calmly, "A hero doesn't talk about his past achievements. A fallen phoenix is worse than a chicken. So, let's not talk about what happened in the past." Lin Feng tied Long Aotian to a metal rod used for barbecuing and placed him over the fire to roast. How dare you roast me? I'm not done with you! Long Aotian was so angry that he glared at Lin Feng. He glared at Lin Feng fiercely. He wanted to pounce on Lin Feng and bite him to death. Lin Feng took out various spices and sprinkled them on Long Aotian's body. He said, I wanted to fry you, but you're just skin and bones. There's not much meat left. Let's not waste the oil and just roast you. When he heard that, Long Aotian was so upset that he almost vomited blood. He was the Eastern Divine Dragon. He was high and mighty. He was the Eastern Divine Dragon. In Lin Feng's eyes, using a pot to fry him was a waste of oil. Long Aotian's three corpse gods flew into a rage. He kept struggling, trying to break free from his restraints. However, he tried many times. Every time he failed. After roasting him for a long time, Lin Feng realized that Long Aotian seemed to be fine. Hey, although you're just skin and bones, your skin is very thick. Why is it so difficult to roast you? Lin Feng could not help but grumble. Long Aotian said proudly, Are you blind? Master Long Aotian is an Eastern dragon god. I'm from an incomparably noble race. I can swallow fire and spit out water. How can this kind of ordinary fire hurt me? Long Aotian had an arrogant look on his face. It was as if he was certain that Lin Feng could not hurt him at all. Hence, he looked at Lin Feng with disdain. Kid, if you know what's good for you, you'd better let me go. Then, kneel down and swear to become my human pet. Otherwise, when I recover my magic power, you'll die a horrible death. Long Aotian said viciously. Lin Feng pursed his lips. Don't get too cocky. Ordinary fire couldn't hurt you. I wonder if heavenly fire can roast you. Chapter 31-33. God-devouring black flame. That's the 8th-ranked heavenly flame. It's a powerful heavenly flame controlled by the heavenly demon emperor. How did it end up in your hands? Long Aotian exclaimed in shock when he saw the god-devouring black flame that Lin Feng had brought out. Lin Feng was surprised that Long Aotian knew the heavenly demon emperor. Could he be an expert from the same era as the heavenly demon emperor? Lin Feng said calmly. I killed the heavenly demon emperor's son and snatched the god-devouring black flame from him. You killed the heavenly demon emperor's son? Long Aotian was shocked. Then, he burst out laughing. That son of a bitch left the god-devouring black flame to his son. Looks like that son of a bitch is definitely dead. This is retribution. This is truly retribution. Seeing Long Aotian's ecstatic look, Lin Feng could not help but mutter in his heart. Just what kind of heinous thing had the heavenly demon emperor done to Long Aotian back then? To think that Long Aotian would hate the heavenly demon emperor so much. Lin Feng asked, Is there a grudge between you and the heavenly demon emperor? Long Aotian looked at Lin Feng arrogantly and said, Don't ask about things that you shouldn't know. There are some things that you don't have the right to know. Long Aotian seemed to have forgotten that he was just a prisoner. That arrogant attitude of his made Lin Feng extremely unhappy. Lin Feng could not be bothered with Long Aotian anymore. He directly activated the god-devouring black flame. Then, he used the god-devouring black flame to burn Long Aotian's body. Arg! It's burning me! It's burning me! Stop! Long Aotian screamed. However, from the looks of it, he was completely fine. I told you to stop! Didn't you hear me? You're burning me to death! I'm about to be roasted! Long Aotian could not help but roar angrily. His eyes were spitting fire. Lin Feng said indifferently, Put your sister out. I want to eat roasted dragon meat, it must taste good. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. In the past, the heavenly demon emperor and I were mortal enemies. You must have a deep grudge with the sky demon emperor's son, which is why you killed him, right? Come to think of it, there's still a deep relationship between us. With such a relationship, we should live in harmony and not fight and kill. Long Aotian continued to shout. This guy was really shameless. In order to escape. Now, he was trying to establish a relationship with Lin Feng. Lin Feng curled his lips and said, Come on. If you have the strength, you might as well breathe more of the fresh air in this world because this will be the last time you breathe in this world. Long Aotian had a glib tongue. Lin Feng didn't care at all. He continued to use the black flame god-devouring fire to burn Long Aotian. However, Lin Feng soon discovered that something was wrong. Even though Long Aotian had been screaming the entire time. Listen to the voice. It was incomparably mournful. It was extremely tragic. However, in reality, Long Aotian wasn't injured at all. Damn it! Stop screaming! I didn't hurt you at all. What are you screaming for? Lin Feng looked at Long Aotian speechlessly. Long Aotian's body was so tough that even Lin Feng was shocked. It was unimaginable how strong Long Aotian had been in the past. Long Aotian had lost all his magic power. However, his physical body was still strong and hadn't weakened. Let's see if you scream when I burn you with heavenly fire. Long Aotian glared at Lin Feng fiercely. Lin Feng removed the iron rod that bound Long Aotian and took out the stone sword. Lin Feng grinned and said, Heavenly fire can't burn you to death. I wonder if the stone sword can kill you. Long Aotian's face turned green when he saw the stone sword. If you can't kill me, I'll take you as my human pet sooner or later, Long Aotian said fiercely. Lin Feng couldn't help but shout coldly. Then, he swung the stone sword at Long Aotian. Clang, 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 sword after sword slashed on Long Aotian's body. However, it was as if it had struck an incomparably hard metal. It actually produced a series of clanging sounds. It hurts so much! Ouch, it hurts! Hurry up and stop! If you continue, you'll really kill someone! Long Aotian screamed again and again. Although this guy was shouting very loudly, he didn't suffer any injuries. This made Lin Feng extremely speechless and helpless. This guy's body was too hard. It was so hard that it was unbelievable. He slashed at Long Aotian's body dozens of times, but he still could not cut him open. Lin Feng simply stopped. Huff, 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 huff. He breathed heavily and was panting from exhaustion. F***ck, what is your body made of? Why is it so hard? Lin Feng looked at Long Aotian gloomily. Master Long has an immortal and indestructible body. Naturally, you won't be able to harm me, Long Aotian said proudly. If I can't kill you, I'll seal you again. When the era is destroyed, you'll be destroyed along with the era. At that time, we'll see if you're still an indestructible existence. Lin Feng could not help but pout. F***ck. How can you do such a thing? You're a demon! A complete demon! Long Aotian could not help but glare at Lin Feng fiercely. Of course, you can also use some treasures or secrets in exchange for your freedom, Lin Feng said indifferently. I just escaped. What treasures do I have? Long Aotian could not help but roll his eyes. Then use your secrets in exchange for your freedom. You'll have to answer whatever I ask you, Lin Feng said. Ask away, Long Aotian said. Long Aotian chose to give in. It was because he did not want to be suppressed anymore. The days of darkness had driven Long Outyen crazy. "Who sealed you?" Lin Feng asked. "A bunch of old farts." Long Outyen immediately gnashed his teeth in hatred. Lin Feng and Long Outyen talked in detail for a while before learning how Long Outyen had been sealed back then. The legend of Dragon Knights had a long history. Many people wanted to become Dragon Knights. It was not just because Dragon Knights were more domineering. There was another reason. Dragons were powerful and could help their masters fight enemies when a war broke out. Eastern divine dragons were extremely rare since ancient times. Long Outyen was being targeted by someone. There were a few terrifying beings who wanted to tame Long Outyen and make him their mount. Long Outyen was naturally no match for those old antiques, so he was suppressed by them. Those old antiques could not agree, and no one could convince the other. Thus, those old antiques temporarily sealed Long Outyen in a stone ball. They wanted to wait until the victor was determined to subdue Long Outyen as their mount. Who would have thought that after countless years, those old antiques would not appear again? Chapter 31-34. Lin Feng hadn't thought Long Ao Tian would have such a difficult life. Lin Feng didn't know if Long Ao Tian had become insane because he had been oppressed for so many years. Maybe it was because he had been oppressed for so many years that he had become like that. Lin Feng asked Long Outyen many more things and learned many secrets from him. Lin Feng found out a lot. Of course, Lin Feng didn't forget to ask Long Ao Tian about Lulan Island. Since Long Ao Tian had been imprisoned in Lulan Island, he probably knew a lot about Lulan Island and Lulan City. Long Outyen said, "Lulan Island is where the Lulan tribe lives, but not their ancestral ground. The ancient city is their ancestral ground." Lin Feng was shocked to hear this. Lin Feng had heard many rumors about the ancient city before. Now, he could finally confirm the authenticity of these rumors. It seemed that all the other rumors were false. The one about the ancient city being related to the Lulan tribe was true. So there really was a Lulan tribe in history. Long Outyen continued, "Lulan Island is where the people of the Lulan tribe lived and thrived. Naturally, there are many treasures here. However, the most heaven-defying treasures are not kept here. They are kept in the ancestral land. Rumor has it that the ancestral land of the Lulan tribe contains many amazing treasures. For example, there are materials to forge weapons. There are even ancient weapons. Rumor has it that the ancient city of Lulan contains the legendary heaven-shaking stone tablet, the immortal elixir, and so on." "What? Is this rumor true?" Lin Feng couldn't help but look astonished. He couldn't believe what he had just heard. This was too shocking. Just how many supreme treasures did the Lulan tribe collect? This was truly shocking. People couldn't help but feel that this was unimaginable. "Of course it's true. Years ago, I secretly entered the ancient city of Lulan and wanted to take something out, but I was discovered," Long Outyen said. He gritted his teeth and continued, "The old ancestor of the Lulan tribe was the first old fart who wanted to suppress me and make me his mount. During the battle with this old fart, a few other old farts were attracted." That period of history was like a nightmare to Long Outyen. He didn't want to think about it anymore. Long Outyen was very depressed. Every time he thought about it, he would still grit his teeth. He was mad with hatred. That history was unbearable to think about. "So you don't know about the destruction of the Lulan tribe and many other things that happened after that?" Lin Feng frowned. Long Outyen nodded. "I really don't know about what happened after the suppression. Something must have happened back then. The ancient city of Lulan had mysteriously disappeared. This period of history had become a mystery. It was just as Long Outyen had said. Something shocking must have happened back then. However, he did not know how many secrets were buried in that incident. Looking back, the world had changed. When Long Outyen was born, and the world had changed. When he first came out, Long Outyen was still yelling about finding those old farts for revenge. However, he was no longer yelling about it. That was because After so many years, those who suppressed him might have died long ago. There are wars in every era, whether it's because of conflicts of interest or because of invasions from other realms. Too much history has been hidden, and there's no way to find out. Lin Feng frowned. It could be said that this was truly a pity. Lin Feng continued. You must have been to Luan Island back then, right? You should know what treasures there are on Luan Island, right? Long Aotian said. This is the Luan tribe's land. Many of their experts lived here. I don't know what treasures there are because the Luan tribe doesn't have much contact with the outside world. This tribe is full of mysteries. Lin Feng couldn't help but roll his eyes at Long Aotian's words. He couldn't find out what he wanted to know from Long Aotian. For example, the whereabouts of some supreme treasures or some legacy. How much do you know about the Luan tribe? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. The Luan tribe. This powerful and terrifying race was definitely a race that was terrifying to the point that it would shock anyone. In the past, they were incomparably powerful and glorious, but now, they were only legends. It was almost impossible for people of the future to know more about this tribe. The origin of this tribe is very mysterious. Back then, some said that this tribe was related to an extremely ancient Xiantian life form. Others said that this tribe was a mysterious tribe born after the beginning of time. Even then, the Luan tribe was shrouded in a veil of mystery. I don't know when it started, but rumors about the Luan clan began to spread in the universe. Many people knew about the legend of the ancient city of Luan, and they also knew that there were countless treasures in the ancient city. As the saying goes, a man's wealth is his own ruin. The Luan tribe had so many treasures, so it was natural that many powerful factions would want to know more about them. Thus, more than one faction made a move against the Luan tribe. However, those factions didn't end well. They were all destroyed by the Luan tribe. Long Aotian began to talk about the history of the Luan tribe. After hearing this, Lin Feng was shocked. Perhaps, the Luan tribe was much more powerful than he had imagined. Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. Such a powerful tribe, how many people do they have? There aren't many people in the Luan tribe. Perhaps it's because their bloodline is too powerful, so it's difficult for them to produce offspring. However, this tribe searched everywhere for children with outstanding talents and nurtured them from a young age. Many geniuses rose because of this and were very loyal to this tribe. If they were especially powerful and talented, they could even marry into the Luan tribe. Marriage was a very common thing. When two extremely powerful bloodlines were married, the children born from the marriage might be even more powerful. This was the so-called twin bloodlines. Thus, some ancient tribes were extremely fond of marriage. Actually, the destruction of the Luan tribe was within expectations. Too many people were spying on the ancient city of Luan. It would be strange if they weren't destroyed. You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.